Good morning, everybody. Coming at you from Klamath Falls. We got a little bit of snow. It's not showing now, but yesterday, guys, we got some amazing Christmas snow. So there was no snow in the forecast at all, but it was really, really cool because Christmas morning we woke up to about an inch of snow dusted around. The kids were crazy, crazy excited. So, y'all, I'm coming at you. It's 8 a.m. Pacific time on Thursday, the day after Christmas 2019. So if you're viewing this later in the year, amazing. This is still going to be just as effective to you, just as relevant to you in mid-year as it is right now, okay? Because if you don't have a plan mid-year, that's the perfect time to pull back and get a plan so you can crush the back half there. What I want to do first, guys, is if you guys can pop through the questions panel wherever you're at. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, if you're on our live viewing page. Now, you guys need to go to our live viewing page because the live viewing page is where you're going to get all the templates and resources, okay, guys? So I'm going to post this through right now. If you are watching this on Facebook or YouTube, go to the live viewing page. It's carrot.com/epic/live. And I'm just now sending that through. So, guys, go to that page, carrot.com/epic/live. Thanks, guys. The team is on it. And that's where you guys are going to want to go, okay? Because you're going to be able to get templates there for my annual strategic plan, my quarterly focuser, the energy audit, and some other things. And that's also where the replay is going to be. So if you guys want to tap into the replay after this, so you can sit down there with your team, whatever it is, go to that page. So, just a little bit of context before we dive in. This is, I think, the 4th year in a row now that I've done this annual Epic planning call. And I usually do it when I'm on vacation with my family on Christmas. Now, a lot of you guys might be asking, why is it that I pull away and do this when I'm on Christmas vacation with my family? Well, number one, I think it's a perfect time if you are diving into if you haven't wrapped up your planning yet, this is the perfect time to do it, because between Christmas and New Year's, there's usually a little bit of a lull. There's usually a little bit of time where you're pulling back. It's not as frantic, hopefully, and you're able to really like dive in and get your stuff going. Okay. Number two, I think also a lot of times people have time that day after Christmas where you can pull back and you can open up the computer in the morning and you can really get going and get intentional instead of being in the busyness of the day in August or December or October, whatever it is. Okay, so I'm here in Klamath Falls, Oregon, which is where I grew up. I actually grew up across over there. My parents live over there across the golf course at the Running Y Resort. Moved there in my high school years, and then my wife and I went to college here in Klamath Falls, Oregon at Oregon Institute of Technology. Then we moved up to Portland and then down to Roseburg in 2008. So we bought a townhouse here. This townhouse, a little bit of real estate investing lesson there. This townhouse we bought in 2012. Amazing deal, fully furnished, $112,000 overlooking the golf course, 1,500 square feet, three bedroom, 2.5 bath. Guys, you can pull these amazing deals out even in this current market. So we're grateful to be here, and I'm up in my bedroom right now, so it's not the normal cool background. But what's up, guys? If you guys could pop through the questions panel, can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? What's up, Francisco? Francisco, how you feeling, man? From Gresham, Oregon, dude. You're not too far away. Awesome. Welcome aboard, Twin City Home Buyers. Who's ready to have their mind blown? Eric Olson, good morning. Brian, what's up, man? Trevor, love your name, dude. Trevor Augustus. Keith, what's up, man? Keith, I appreciate the text message you sent me yesterday. Meant a lot, buddy. Gary, lots of different people here, guys. Nudo, Kenneth, Philip Garza from Plano, Texas. Aaron from Minneapolis. What's up, Michael from Boston? Let's see. Santiago from Texas. Bill Kenny, guys all over the place. DC, Texas, Twin Cities, Minnesota, Texas again. South America, what's up, Alejandro? Alejandro from Lima, Peru, South America. We're going global, y'all. What's up, guys? So Kathy from Florida Keys. I can't name everybody after Patrick Riddle. What's up, dude? I love it, man. Happy New Year's. So, guys, we're gonna dive in right now, okay? And I'm gonna share my screen if I can figure out how to share my screen. And we're using a new software. Actually, it's newer to me, but my team has been crushing it with it lately. And so I'm gonna go and see if I can't find this bad boy right here, and let me click it open. One sec, guys, bear with me. Okay, cool, I got it. I figured it out now. So I'm gonna share my screen, and you guys will be able to see some slides. Let me know in the comments box if you guys can see my slides. I'm gonna switch over here. I'll pull out StreamYard so I can actually see the comments still. And I'm on my laptop. Usually I'm on my big computer screen, where I would be able to see a lot more. But I'm going to make this work, y'all. I'm going to make this work. Okay, cool. Let's do actual size and bam. Can you guys see my slides? I'll pop through the comments box if you guys can see my slides. Quick yes, and then we will dive in. Awesome. Love it, guys. Cool. So guys, this call is about making 2020 your best year yet. And we're not going to get fancy on this call. These slides, there might even be some mistakes in this call. And you know what, guys, I don't really care, because what we're on this call for is to get clarity and intention about 2020. And I've gone through and had a lot of different ways that I've changed my annual planning process as our company has grown. So there's certain things that are going to be amazingly applicable to you, no matter if you're a 1-person team, a 5-person team, or we're a 30-person team now. And one thing that I've found that's always interesting is every single year as we're going through, and I have my trusty orange notebook with me all the time where I jot down my findings, my learnings, my wins, my losses. I'm going to share some of those wins and losses with you guys today. But I'm always jotting down, how is my planning process serving me or not serving me anymore? Because every year we get into it and we go, man, that really worked, or that didn't work, or for some reason this stopped working now because our team changed. And so if you are on last year's epic planning call or the year before's epic planning call, I can tell you our process is quite a bit different now. And there's some new templates that you're going to be getting. I think it's simplified a little bit, and I'm actually going to be taking you and doing a lot of work on my iPad and drawing some stuff out on my iPad. And there's some slides in this I'm going to skip, because as I was going through it again, I'm like, let's just remove that and let's simplify it. So I'm going to be walking you through the new process. But before I do, I want you guys to have a chance to win one of my favorite books. I reread this book again. This was the first book that I read in 2011, I think it was, that completely shifted my mindset around simplifying my business and life. And I want to give away 5 copies of the Pumpkin Plan today, guys. All you have to do to be entered in to win this book, because this book completely changed my life. And once again, it doesn't matter if you're brand new, if you've already read it, whatever it is. This book, I'm going to give away a gazillion copies. I've given away hundreds already, because I know the power of simplicity and breaking things down in your business to focus on fewer things, but more important things. So, guys, the things you got to do is follow me on Instagram. Go over to Instagram, trevor.mock, and give me a quick follow. Take a picture of a slide during this webinar that you resonate with. If it's a quote that you resonate with, if it's a part of my planning process you resonate with, whatever it is, take a picture of something on here and upload it to Instagram or Facebook with a comment letting us know what you got out of it, okay, with the tag #Epic 2020. So #Epic 2020. So to be entered in here, we're going to be looking through the hashtags on Instagram and Facebook for #Epic 2020 with a screenshot of something you took away from this call, and make sure you follow me on Instagram as well. We're going to be mailing out at least 5 books. We might give away more. Okay. So this right here, guys, I ran across this photo, and I shared this last year, and this is still something I absolutely love this year. This is how most people live their life. And when I saw this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this was me at a time. This still is me sometimes, where I like pull into this for a day or a half a day, then I pull back out. But in general, what most people do is for the first 10 to 20 years, you're living life, right? You're living, you're laughing, you're learning a lot. Like in those first 20 years, you're learning so much. You're enjoying life in general, right? Of course, there's going to be things that are different, but something happens right after we get out of school, out of the traditional construct of school, and after we leave our homes. Once again, I'm generalizing things. Okay, many of you might have had way different scenarios and situations where your 20s, 30s, and 40s are way better than your first 20 years. Okay, if that's the case, amazing, congratulations. Or I'm sorry for the hard upbringing that you had. But in general, we go from 20 to 60 years where people are just surviving Monday to Friday. They're hating their jobs. They quote unquote get drunk on the weekends, stop learning. Who on this call has kind of stopped learning this past year? I'm going to share my bout with that. Okay, I'm going to share my bout with that. Yes, I did change the slide, so that's not catching up with you guys. And it might be the latency if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube. Go over to our Epic Planning Call page, carrot.com/epic/live. And then Joaquin and Brady, if you guys can kind of jot down a note and let me know, are you guys seeing the slide change? Because StreamYard shows that the slide changed. So if the slide didn't change, let me know. Shoot me a text message or something. I don't have Slack on. So I'm gonna keep going. Access to these slides. Okay, you guys will get access to these slides. So even if you guys aren't seeing the current slide, we'll work out the technical thing part of it. So let me message them really quick. Un momento. Technology, y'all. Technology is always amazing. I'm gonna take a drink of water while we're figuring out the slide change part. But I'm gonna be talking through this slide while we figure this part of it out. I might need to let me do this actually. I'm gonna stop the screen share. Let me refire the screen share back up and see if this solves it. All right. Okay, cool. Can you guys see the new slide now where it says how most people live their life? If so, let me know. And if that's the case, then StreamYard's probably having a little bit of a glitch. Are you guys seeing that now? How most people live their life? Yeah, it keeps on refreshing. Yeah, Brady Joaquin, if you guys can shoot me a text and just kind of let me know if this is something that you guys have seen before. It's just refreshing a lot on my end. The investing fireman says you're really good at this whole internet thing, dude. I know, I love it. Okay, cool. Well, looks like it's good. So I'm gonna keep going, guys. Hopefully it keeps up with me here. Complain about how hard or unfair work is. You work, and then finally get to 65, 70, and you're tired. That's when people say they want to retire, and I'm like, that is not the model that I want to live. I don't want to live that model to where the 20 to 60 years I'm working away in a job that doesn't give me freedom, that doesn't give me flexibility, that doesn't grow my finances in a way that I can make a massive impact. So we want to change this, guys, and this is what we're after. And this is when I've been building my business. And I just switched slides again, guys. Let me know if you see the one that says freedom, flexibility, finances, impact. If so, I think we're all good, but let me know and confirm for sure. But this really is what I'm going after, guys. And this is what we're going to be doing in today's workshop and today's epic planning call, is helping you to find a better way to create a business that gives you freedom, to create a business that gives you flexibility, finances, and makes a massive impact. And that's something that we shared. If you guys have been following my Instagram or Facebook the last several days, we've been sharing our carrot giving program. We've been sharing what we've been doing with our carrot giving challenge, where our team members like Joaquin and like Brady, who are on here with us, and tons of others, are taking my $100 giving challenge and completely making a massive impact to people during the holiday seasons. And this is something that I want to be baking into all of your business as well, more and more into 2020. We'll share more with you. But freedom, flexibility, finances, and impact is what we're going after. Okay, cool. Looks like a switch. Awesome, guys. We're good. We're good. And this right here, I have this canvas up in my office, and I shared this one last year as well. But the ultimate goal of an entrepreneur isn't money, y'all. It's not money. It's complete control over your time. And as you guys are planning out your years, what I did, one of the big mistakes that I made for years when I was planning out my years, I really focused the year on the numbers. I focused the year on what goals do I want to hit? What do I want to change about my life? And those are amazing things. But the problem was I wasn't intentional about how am I going to regain my time this next year? How am I going to build up a team? Or how am I going to build up processes? Or how am I going to change my business model so I get my time back? Because that's the one thing that you're never going to get back. Okay, usually on this epic planning call, I share this image. I'm not going to do it today because I've done it for 3 years in a row. But it's this image that shows a little dot for every year that you live in your life. And I'm 37 years old. It said that the average male lives at what I think is about 85 years old. And if you look at all those dots lined up on the thing, and 37 of them colored off out of 85, you really get perspective for, oh my gosh, this portion of my life I'm never going to get back, and I've got this many years left. I better use those years well. And chasing numbers is not the thing that any of us want to do. Okay, chasing numbers is not the thing that we want to do. Okay, that's not it. So I'm going to help you guys get complete control of your time. And the big thing that's going to help you guys with that is habits and disciplines. I've got a whole new section of this planning call, guys. About 80% of this call, if you guys watched this last year, the year before, is different than before. I've got some new things and some major mindset shifts that I went through. So quick though, perfect, a little public service announcement. If you're a Carrot member, got a cool announcement for you. Today, right after this call, we're releasing our brand new premium website design called Aspen. So if you're on the advanced marketer plan, you're going to now be able to unlock a brand new premium website design to stand out even more in your market. Guys, just go to carrot.com/Aspen, unlock it. Now, the reason I'm telling you about this is I'm doing a workshop in January called the Entrepreneur's Freedom Formula. The Entrepreneur's Freedom Formula is going to be a several-hour workshop. It's going to be live. We'll record it with all the resources, where I'm going to walk you through everything that I do to delegate better, to get time away from my to-do lists and focus on the things that give me energy and add more impact. I'm going to walk through exactly how I work with my executive assistant, Jen, to get more work done and more impactful work done. I'm going to walk through my delegation matrix, all of that stuff in detail in January. So anyone that's on the advanced marketer plan, whether you are in it today or you upgrade over this next week to get in the advanced marketer plan, you're going to get free access to that entire Entrepreneur's Freedom Formula workshop that I'm going to be doing in January, because I want to see you guys gain more time back. Okay, so go check out the new design, carrot.com/Aspen, and upgrade today to get access to the Entrepreneur's Freedom Formula workshop in January. All right, guys, cool. So let's get started. So on this call, we're going to review my 2019, some key things that I learned, won, lost. My 5Fs exercise, guys, I show this every year because it works. It's something that's like one of those routines. If I were to come on this call every year with you guys and have everything completely changed and different, it would show that the tried and true exercises are not working. I'm going to bring back the energy audit in this call. I'm going to bring back the 5Fs exercise. I refined and made stronger the planning process. We're using a lot of the same resources, but better tools. Okay, I'm going to walk through the biggest mindset shift that I made in 2019 that honestly completely changed my perspective on life and has made the same impact with Carrot campers, with other Carrot team members and friends of mine too. Okay, how to create habits that stick, which disciplines are holding you back. And this concept, guys, this concept right here, I'm telling you, is game changing. This is one that I stumbled on this year from a good friend of mine, Ryan Fletcher. Being versus becoming. Being versus becoming completely shifted the way that I think. And I think it's going to be magical for you guys in 2020. What we will not go over this year, we're not going to go over the ceiling of complexity. I've done that for several years. Go back and look at the archives of last year's calls. We'll give you the slides from last year. Awesome. I'm not going to go over Ikigai. Okay, Ikigai, guys, is just one of those foundational things I've integrated in my life now. I've taught it a lot. If you weren't on last year's, go back and look at the Ikigai section of that call in those slides. And I'm not going to talk a lot about the importance of knowing your mortality. Okay, so this may be you guys. Are you a high achieving entrepreneur and don't want to settle living for an average life? Okay, and it's for you to determine what average means. You may be achieving your someday goals. Like you wrote down these goals 5-6 years ago and you've reached those things. You guys are like, oh my gosh, I reached these goals I never thought that I would reach, or I thought they'd be 10 years out and I did it in 2 years. I did it in 3 years. But you found, man, I'm still unhappy and I'm still not happy and I'm not fulfilled. Okay, there's a gap there, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I've done to fill that gap, and you guys can do the same thing. Okay, do you feel like you're working your butt off but not getting closer to your ultimate goals, or your goals keep shifting? Okay, that's something I run into quite often every year. I've got a process that pulls me out of it that I think could be really useful for you guys too. This is something that I was talking with my coach and some of my buddies in a business coaching program that I'm a part of. It's something called the entrepreneurial funk. Okay, the entrepreneurial funk, guys. How many of you guys, I want you to pop through the questions panel. How many of you guys, Roger says, is this design more oriented to investors or agents? Roger, this is designed for business people. Okay, this is designed for entrepreneurs. You can apply this to a toilet selling company. You can apply this to real estate agents, real estate investors, an insurance company, candle makers, water bottle makers. I don't care what it is. This is just a framework that will work. Okay. And someone says that this is on the still won't slide. So guys, it looks like I might have to keep on popping out of here and sharing and re-unsharing this because of the software, but we'll get it. We'll make it happen. Okay. So I'll reshare this right like that. If you guys find that it's not advancing, just let me know and I'll go back and share it again. Okay. So you dip into the entrepreneur's funk, but know how to get out of it. There is an entrepreneur's funk, guys. I'm going to walk you through what it is. And how to get out of it, because it happens every single year, multiple times a year for me. Start each day feeling overwhelmed at everything you have to do and the little time you have to do it. Do you ever feel that? Let me know through the comments box if you ever feel that. Okay, you keep hitting up against the wall and you can't crack through your vision for success, and you're getting discouraged. Are any of you guys in that right now, where you feel like, man, I've been hitting this wall, but it's just not working? Okay, I can't feel I can crack through it. I'm going to show you guys on my iPad. I'm going to draw something for you guys. I'm going to be an artist to show you guys why that is. Okay, I found out why that is for me this year, and I think it's just as applicable to you guys. I call it discipline ceilings. Okay, you look for motivation daily to keep you moving, but you know the disciplines to get you. You're growing your team, but you're more overwhelmed now than before. If that's you right there, I'm not going to go a lot about it on this call. Having a good plan to align your team around is one of the things that's going to solve that. But the biggest thing is what I'm going to be going over in the Entrepreneur's Freedom Formula workshop in January on exactly how, as your team grows, to make sure that you're not growing your time commitment to your business with it. Okay, and do you always self-sabotage your goals but don't know why? Guys, let me know in the comments box if any of these things are explaining you. Just pop through, hey, this one specifically does, or yes, all of them, or whatever it is. Because guys, right here, David says, oh my gosh, yes, there's not enough time for me to get everything done. Aaron says, yes, like daily. Lots of people, for sure, every day. I do, yes. All of it's resonating, all this. Okay, guys, because this is common. Now, that's the first thing I want you guys to recognize is it's nothing wrong with you. This is common. It's a common thing. And there's enough entrepreneurs that have had success figuring out how to get through these things that we're going to be sharing with you what's working for me. And if this doesn't work for you, go find someone else who you can align with that can walk through what works for them, and that might work for you as well. But I want you to know that you are doing exactly what you need to do. And if you're running into any of those things, it is normal. What is not normal, though, for successful entrepreneurs is staying in those phases for too long. And I'm going to walk you through how to do that. Now, really quick, guys, I want to dive in my biggest learnings for the year. If you guys don't know me, I'm Trevor, the founder of a company called Carrot. Carrot.com. One of the big wins for this year was moving over to Carrot.com. I forgot to put that on my list, but that was a big win. Double down on our branding. But we've been on the Inc. 500, 5,000 list a couple years in a row. Fastest growing software company in Oregon 2 years in a row. And some other kind of cool things. But the coolest thing business-wise that we were recently recognized with, y'all, is, and it goes back to the 4 things I go after as an entrepreneur: freedom, flexibility, finances, and impact. Okay, as you build your business the correct way, and as you plan it the correct way, and you work on the most important and high leverage things, you grow your finances faster and you can make a much greater impact. We were awarded by the Portland Business Journal the 8th most philanthropic small business in the entire state of Oregon. Guys, that right there was such a big deal. We didn't set out to do that. That happened as a byproduct of being intentional with starting our giving program, with injecting giving into our culture, and then just finding ways to add more and more value, guys. So I want you guys to do the same thing. I want to amplify you guys to make you guys some of the most philanthropic and impactful entrepreneurs in your community, no matter what business you're doing. And I'm not talking about having to give away a ton of money. Okay, I want you guys to be inspired to give more, because I can tell you, chasing the numbers is not going to get you what you want out of life. The numbers are going to be a fuel for making the impact you want to make. Okay, guys? Awesome. Sweet. So my 29 in a nutshell. So going into this year, I wasn't clear in my vision. Now, here's the funny thing, guys. I want to be completely vulnerable with y'all. That I think it's very, very common where people see someone that looks like they're in the situation that they want to be in. So if you guys see me and you go, man, I really want to be in the scenario or situation that Trevor's in. Awesome. You know, I'm so grateful for where I am in life, but it's nowhere near perfect. And I go through my own struggles throughout the year. I go through my own entrepreneur funks throughout the year. Okay. And going into this year, I'm like Mr. Vision, right? I'm Mr. Vision. So how was it that I wasn't clear on my vision going into the year? Well, here's the deal. I wrote my 5-year vision for Carrot back in 2016, and I'm running out of runway on that vision. Okay, I'm running out of runway in that vision. And what tends to happen, as I'll talk about a little bit later, guys, is when you run out of runway on your vision, you start to get in a funk. You start to go, man, like maybe I'll try something else. Maybe I'll go and dabble in this thing over here. I'm not sure what the business is going to look like. Maybe I want to sell it. Maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to do that. I'm going to tell you guys how I got crystal clear on my vision finally. But if you guys wrote a vision story 2, 3, 4 years ago as I was doing these calls, and you're at the tail end of that vision, you're likely going to hit a point this year, next year, where you hit a funk, and it's because your vision's not clear. I ran out of runway. So I started piecing together my vision for the future again, and my runway got longer again. It was awesome. That was the last several months of the year. Okay, going into 2019, guys, I was really struggling to get focused at a high level to get work done. I'm still there, okay, and I'm still there. I feel like the last month or so I've made some unlocks mentally, but as my role has changed at Carrot, and I've adopted a different working schedule, guys. I realize I have to completely change the way that I work now, so I can work on higher level things, on things that are within my unique abilities, within my unique genius, the things that give me energy. And I would find myself getting to the end of the week, even with my planning tools, even with my habit and goal tracker, I'd be doing the things, but I would create a time block. And let me know, guys, if you guys can relate to this. I'd create a time block on my schedule to do this specific thing that I should be doing. Okay. And then what happened was I didn't do it. I got distracted by other things, and there was a repeated pattern. It kept happening. And I'm still kind of in it, like I said. But I've found some things that are starting to get me out of it. I'm going to show you guys what that is. So if any of you guys are struggling with that, we're on the journey together, okay? I hit ceilings that I knew that I couldn't get myself past. Had a very small leadership team coming into 2019. It was just 4 of us. And now it's 7 of us. So I had to really learn how do you grow a leadership team? How do you step out of the operations of the business more? And that's going to be a big theme for 2020, y'all, as I elevated and gave my operations manager a promotion to the director of operations with my primary goal to regain 50% of my time back. He's going to be taking over a lot of the daily operations of the company, so I can go up a few levels and do more of this with you guys. So I can do more of this and get more of what's in my brain out to you guys, real estate investors and agents and entrepreneurs, to make your businesses more consistent, more predictable, and build more momentum. I need to lead better, get more content out there, and lead my leadership team better rather than getting in the weeds. I was in the weeds a lot this year. Okay, putting 7 figures into the bank, but my money wasn't motivating. It wasn't motivating at all. At the hardest phase I've ever been as an entrepreneur. This is hard, y'all, and I'll share why in something I call the billionaire code that I borrowed from my friend Alex Sharfin a little bit later. But it's been the most fun year also. Okay, and that's a big thing. Entrepreneurs are the most happy when we're in momentum. Okay, I want you guys to pop through the questions panel if you guys can relate to this. Who is the most happy and fulfilled when you're in momentum? Okay, when you're in momentum, y'all. Who's the most happy and fulfilled when you're in momentum? I'm going to keep on resharing my slides because it looks like it keeps getting stuck, okay? Who is the most happy when you're in momentum? Let me know through the questions panel, guys. I know that I am, okay? And you're not going to get in momentum unless things are hard. I can just tell you that from personal experience, okay? Okay, struggling with consistency in many parts of my life, faith, morning routines, bedtime routines. I nailed some of those way better this year, and I'll share kind of what made some of those work, and some of them I'm still struggling with. But this year in 2019, guys, going into the year, I had made working out a routine, but you know what? I felt like I'd lost my edge. In 2016, I started working out, or 2017, I started working out. Okay, and we built our gym in the office. I shared that with you on one of our past epic planning calls. I shared exactly how I worked that out and finally trumped that 6-year not working out stretch. Okay, I thought I unlocked it, figured it out, but we were only working out 3 days a week, and I'll share it with you guys. The shift that my coach gave me that completely changed it for me. Okay, so here's some key lessons, guys. Here's some key lessons. All right, so I'm going to walk through. I think there's 5 or 6 of them. The first one here, guys, is the entrepreneur's funk. Okay, and after I go through these key lessons, then I'm going to break down the planning process with you. So I was on a coaching call with my coach and his coaching students. There's about a dozen of us. This is probably about a month ago, and I want to run this story by you because I think it's going to relevate. I think it's going to be so relevant to all of you guys on here. Okay, who on here has ever felt like after you launched your business, especially after you launched your business, you dove in, you started to get some results, but you felt like depressed. You know, you'd pull back and go, man, I should be like the happiest, most fulfilled person in the world right now, but for some reason I'm not. For some reason, it just feels there's some emptiness in there. For some reason, I don't know, like, did I make the wrong choice? Should I go back and get a job? Should I just like pull back and take 6 months off? Like whatever it is, okay? Who on here has ever gone through that? Okay, Bernie says, certainly I am. I'm not sure why this is doing this, guys. Joaquin Brady, let me know, guys, if there's something that you guys have experienced with this, because every time I advance slides, it's not advanced with me, so I have to reset it. So let me know, guys, if you guys are seeing the same thing. Okay, so entrepreneur's funk is a real thing. Okay, some people call it depression. I call it a funk, and there's a path out of it when you notice it early. Okay, and here's something that's really interesting. I discovered years ago from another friend and mentor of mine. But on that coaching call that I was on, there was an amazingly successful entrepreneur on that call, guys. Okay, runs a business that does over. And I want you guys to like let this sink in. Okay, I want you guys to let this sink in. First of all, I want you guys to picture, what are your goals? Okay, what are your goals, guys? Yeah, let's do this actually. Brady, Joaquin, if one of you guys could grab these slides, and if you guys could download the slides, turn them into a PDF document, and then upload them on the live page. That way they can kind of follow the slides as I'm going. Okay. And there's gonna be some slides in there, guys, that aren't relevant, that we're gonna be skipping, but you'll get the gist of it. Okay. So if one of you guys could do that, download the slides into PDF format, upload them onto the live page. Guys, we'll let you know when we put them. We'll let you know when we put the live page, or when we put that up on the live page. You'll just need to refresh the page, though. Okay. So I'm sharing this motivation for entrepreneurs over time slide now. And on this call that I was having with this guy, and I want you to let this sink in once again, is this guy was running a business, still is, that's insanely successful. Okay, it's been in business for 18 years plus. They bring in over $10 million a year. And guys, listen to this. Almost 50% of the income is all profit. Okay, so add those numbers up. This guy's netting $4 or $5 million a year. Okay, and on the call, one of the things our coach asks us to do is he says, hey, share your wins, share things that you're learning, and share some things that you need help with. Okay, and with this particular entrepreneur, he said, man, the biggest thing I need help with, the finances are there. This is happening. Yeah, I'm going through some business stuff, but I can figure that out. I'm in a funk, and I've been in a funk for several months, and I don't know how to get out of it. Okay, how is it that when we're the most successful that we have ever been, or even when we forecast out, here's where I wanted to get to someday, we're in a spot where we're just in this massive funk? Okay, it's because your motivation changes over time. First of all, in the early stage of your business, finances, building an income, providing others, proving others wrong, getting away from your current situation. Okay, the game of the start, like that new stuff is really interesting. It's really excited. That motivates you, it pulls you through. But what happens when you start to see some success is you don't adjust and find a new way to add some purpose to your life. So motivators at the next stage are purpose, time freedom, impact, legacy, the challenge of doing something big and win through others. Okay, building long-term wealth, finding some ways to get out of the daily task work and empower and coach other people to do the same. But the big thing, guys, is a long-term clear vision. And this is where whenever I get into a funk, which it happened a couple times this year, and I was about June, July of this year, I was kind of in a funk. It was mainly because I wasn't focusing on purposing, and I wasn't focusing on time freedom. My schedule was crazy jammed because I thought, man, I just need to get caught up on things. And I didn't have that crystal clear vision. Okay. And I'm just going to share the Ikigai slide again. And I'm going to readjust. I'm going to reshare this just in case this didn't advance with you guys. Okay. But I'm going to share the Ikigai slide with you guys again. If you guys have seen this before, cool, awesome. If you have not, go back and watch last year's call where I dive into this in detail. But whenever you're in a funk also, it's likely that you're not in Ikigai. Okay, Ikigai is an ancient Japanese concept meaning a reason for being. What gets you up in the morning? And if you are in a funk, you likely aren't centered in on exactly what you're excited about getting up in the morning for. You're probably just getting up in the morning for tasks. You're probably getting up in the morning to chase a goal that you've realized doesn't really matter at the end. Closing 100 deals doesn't matter. Okay, getting 10 million in revenue doesn't matter. Getting $100,000 a year doesn't matter. Okay, in the whole scheme of things. Because I know people who are insanely happy who make $30,000 a year. Okay, going back to one of the most fun years I've had in the last decade, guys, was 2000. I think it was 12. It was 12 or 13. And when we were moving recently, a couple of years ago, I was looking in this box, and this box had a bunch of paperwork. I'm like, oh, let's flip through this paperwork. And the paperwork, y'all, was my tax returns, like all the way back from my very first ever tax return when I was in high school and then college. And then my income started to go up on my tax returns. And then I hit this massive funk. My former business partner is actually on here, and he saw it firsthand. He wasn't feeling it because I wasn't sharing it the way that I should have shared it. I kept it all inside, but he saw it firsthand. And here's the deal, guys. The year after I kind of wiped the slate clean and decided to start something new, was one of the happiest years that I'd had in a long time. I made $27,000 that year in my net taxable income. And it reminded me when I was going through that box of paperwork a couple of years ago. I'm like, what the heck? My income was well into the end. It went way down, like torpedoed down to $27,000 in 2012 or 2013. But it's one of my happiest years because I was in Ikigai a lot. I was diving in to figure out what I love to do. I was diving in to really focus on mission. I knew that what I could be paid for, and I was experimenting at, and I was really using the things I was good at, and I was doing more of what I love. Okay, but then as I started to take on love, got into a funk again. Then you got to go back to Ikigai and go, okay, is it I'm not that great at, which is like all this task work. Well, how do I add more of that in there? Okay, am I frustrated because I'm not getting paid well to do it? Well, how do I adjust my business model to get paid better to do it? Okay, does the world really need this thing? Because if the world doesn't need what you've got, you don't feel like It's something that you want to market hard. You don't feel like you have the confidence to go out there. And then the last part where most of us get, guys, where most of us miss is, are you doing what you love? And that part at the bottom, where most people are in that little quadrant down here at the bottom where it says you're comfortable but feeling of emptiness. Most entrepreneurs slide into there. And usually when we slide into there, we're doing it because we can get paid for the thing, the world needs it, you're good at it, but you're not working in what you love. Okay, we'll talk about that more in a little bit. Okay, but the big part is having a clear vision. Now, this was a big deal for me this year, and here's why I'm telling you this right now. Okay, a friend of mine, Alex Sharfin, he's got a company that's amazing. He coaches entrepreneurs, and he has this thing called the Billionaire Code. And as I was kind of in that entrepreneur funk, as I was going through that again mid-year, I was pulling back to go, okay, why am I in this funk? Okay, let's look at vision. I was struggling with the vision of the company. I was struggling with, what do I want to do in 5 years? What do I want to do in 10 years? I was even thinking about, well, shoot, like, do I want to sell this company? Okay. And if you guys are just coming in, I'm going to keep on resetting the slides just to make sure. Okay. So I'm just going to keep doing it. But maybe I want to sell this company, maybe not. And every time I would go back to that, looking at, well, maybe I want to sell the company, I'd always pull back and go, well, what would I do anyway? Like, if I sold the darn company for whatever it'd be worth, what would I do anyway? I'd probably go start another company like Carrot, but I wouldn't have my amazing team now, and I wouldn't have the amazing brand, and I wouldn't have the momentum that we've got. I'd probably literally do what I'm doing now. So what is it that I need to change about my current job to make it to where I have the crystal clear vision, to where I'm out of this funk, to where I'm insanely excited again, like I was 6 months before that and a year before that and things like that. Okay, so the Billionaire Code is this. On the left side is seeker, way over here is entrepreneur. And you can see that the different things, it goes from income level, is with the income that the business will bring in. This row right here is how many businesses or how many people are in this. Okay, 16 million people are in the seeker mode. That's this very small business, $0 to $40,000 revenue. 22 million or 22,000 businesses are in the $100 million plus revenue. Okay, this right here, this row talks about what you're doing with your time. Are you dabbling? Are you part-time? Are you full-time, overtime, delegating time? Over here is invest and give away leverage time. Okay, right here's the question you're asking when you're in that phase. How do I stop the pressure and noise is early on? Okay, and then where I am right now is, how does my team get ahead? Okay, where you are over here is, how do we help everyone? Like, you're in massive mission mode there, right? Right here are the things you need to do. Create keystone habits, routine, daily planning, setting outcomes, personal care. Okay, let's go up to where I am right now. Scaling a team to consistently deliver is what I need to figure out how to do right now to get over 10 million. Okay, then over here, understand who you want to serve. These are some other things you need to do. Okay, so the reason this is interesting, and you guys will have this in the slide notes. Go check out Alex Sharfin's podcast. It's amazing. Okay, but the reason this is important is this. I want you guys to identify where you are on this and pop to the comments box where you are in this diagram. Okay, are you in the seeker phase? This is revenue once again. Are you starter? Are you promoter? Are you leader? Are you owner? Let me know, guys, where you are in this phase in the comments box, whether you're watching this on YouTube, our live page, or Facebook. Okay, and then we're gonna take you down and go, let me walk through what I walked through mid-year to go, here's how I get excited about the next phase of business again. Okay, so I'm gonna tell my story as you guys are figuring out where you guys are in this continuum. Put it in the comments box so I can kind of work with you guys here a little bit. Okay, so where I am right now is, and this is transparent, guys. One of our core values here at Carrot is transparency. So we'll do a little over 7 million in revenue this year, and we have a really good business. We're growing at a good clip. Okay, and we have a goal to hit over $10 million next year. There's a lot of reasons behind that. There's a lot of why behind it. Okay, we can reach more people, we can impact more people, we can hire more amazing people, we can be a bigger influence on the industry, we can be a bigger influence on our local community of Roseburg, Oregon. We just bought the building next door to us. We're going to be renovating and putting retail downstairs and apartments upstairs. And what other buildings can we buy? What other things can we contribute to locally where we work and our team works? That's why it's important for us to get over that milestone. Okay, but where I am right now is to get over from 1 million to 3 million. You really need to delegate your time. Okay, as the entrepreneur, and you're asking, how does my team get me ahead? But on the 1 to 3 million mark, you're like, man, how does my team get me ahead? I need to delegate a bunch of tasks. I need to delegate a bunch of different things. Okay, I need to get people to do these things for me so we can just keep scaling this model that's working for us. And then you need to build that team. Okay, where I am now, though, is it's harder to shift. You have to delegate success. It's not just delegating tasks. You have to delegate success now. And that's where I ran into some struggles. That's where I'm still kind of in some of those struggles, but I had some big mindset shifts the last month or two on how do I better lead my leadership team? How do I better make sure that we're all aligned around the right things? How do I better make sure to equip them with the right coaching, the right training, the right resources, the right goals? How do we set goals together that we are both locked into, and we create a plan together that and then have the accountability together to make sure that they're executing the plan and delivering the success? So that's where I am right now. Okay, where are you guys? So there's a bunch of people at starter, operator, leader, promoter, starter, builder. Awesome. So let's look at this, guys. So there's a lot of people at starter here and promoter. Okay, so 40K to 100K and 100K to 300K. All right. So if you're a starter, you're probably part-time. You might have a full-time job still, or you're really only productive 10 to 20 hours a week in that new job. Okay, you're asking, man, what's wrong with me? There's other people doing this. There's other people that I've seen have success with this. What's wrong with me? Why can't I figure this out to get over the 100K mark? Man, it just seems like everyone says, man, 100K is easy to get to. Like, what's wrong with me? Okay, and what you need to do is you need to create a crazy clear market and avatar. Okay, you need to be insanely clear who you're selling to. And that's one thing I see with a lot of agents and investors. You guys try to go so broad, try to niche down to a certain city at the start. You can always expand later. Okay, try to niche down to certain types of clients or certain types of situations. Okay, that's how you start to win, not by going broad. And then you need to go, man, how do I just create value and monetize that value? Okay, so over here to promoter, 100K to 300K, you are full-time. Okay, you're making a full-time income, but you're saying, man, how do I get ahead? I'm mired in a lot of tasks. There's like, I'll get to the end of the week and it feels like I have 100 tasks left to do and not enough people or time to do them. Okay, but here you need to leverage lead generation. You need to so focus on locking down your lead generation methods, which is why we focus on here at Carrot on helping you get consistency and predictability and momentum in your lead gen. It's because it's such a critical moment as an entrepreneur getting over that 300K mark. But you need to nail your lead gen systems. If you nail your lead gen systems, guys, it's going to be way easier to get over that 300K mark. Okay, you need to generate leads and focus consistently and find the people to go out there and help to execute those things. Okay, what else? What else we have here, guys? Seeker. We're going to be uploading the slides, guys, okay, for sure. And someone says, I go back and forth between starter and promoter. So between starter and promoter, so it bounces back and forth. It's likely here, Jose, that you don't have your lead gen systems down. So is your lead generation going up and down? Is it kind of going boom and bust a little bit? If so, that's likely why you're teeter-tottering between the 100K mark to 100K plus mark. You need to nail those lead gen systems. You need to create better systems and ways to delegate things out, which I'm going to be diving into that in the Entrepreneur's Freedom Formula workshop in January for all advanced marketer members. So you guys will get access to that slide, okay? But that was the big thing, guys. I had to realize, man, this is where I am, and I need to get amazing at getting my team ahead. How does my team get ahead? And that's the phase that I'm right now. So I no longer can pull back and say, how do people just take things off of my lap? I have to go, how do I go in there, better systems, better processes, better training, and get the right people in the right spots so they can get ahead? Let's scale that team. Let's get a leadership team in. Let's recruit and develop that leadership team. That was one of the big unlocks this year. I didn't execute it well, okay, but it was one of the biggest unlocks, and I'm figuring out how to do that more. So to get to the next phase, y'all, I'm gonna have to give up autonomy of time. I'm gonna have to get my team further ahead, better resources, better training, better people in the right spots, scale the leadership team systems. Okay, how do I make it to where it's allocated across the team rather than a bunch of different leaders making different operating? Then we need to really grow that leadership team. Okay, so number two, guys, another biggest learning this year was I was drowning out my genius with digital distraction. Okay, I was drowning out my genius with digital distraction, y'all. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by drowning out my genius with digital distraction? Well, let me know if any of you guys can relate to this. So I've got this phone with me here. Okay, I've got this phone with me, and we use Slack, which is a communication channel. Okay, we use I use Voxer because I like Voxer, Voxer, to kind of voice communicate with some of my team members. We do email a little bit. I don't really check email that much. My assistant nails out, which I'm going to walk through in the Freedom Entrepreneurs Formula workshop, how to outsource the majority of your email effectively. But what happened, guys, was I'd find myself, I'd dial in my weekly plan, I'd dial in all that stuff, but the problem was I would find myself avoiding doing the important stuff because of all this distraction. I discovered for myself that I can't get focus work done in my office. Okay, I've got to get focus work done at home, in a coffee shop, because there's a lot of distraction. And so there's a couple things that really started to manifest this year. And then I started to figure out some things to get around, and hopefully this will be useful for you guys too. Okay, it manifested as writer's block, where I'd sit down like, man, I just can't get focused. I can't write. I mean, I'm always busy. Okay. I started missing some deadlines that I would set. And if any of you guys can relate to this, it's frustrating, especially if you have a team, because they are kind of getting the brunt of some of that stuff. And I don't like committing to something and not following through, but I created a pattern. How do we get through this? Well, Albert Einstein has an amazing quote. Take a screenshot of this, guys, upload it to Instagram or Facebook if this is one of the things that resonates with you. Okay. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when creating them. And what was happening to me, y'all, is as we were growing the companies, I was needing to serve my leadership team better and serve the whole company better with better process, better systems, better guidance, better vision. I was using the same level of thinking to try to solve that problem. I was still in distraction mode. I was still checking Slack 4,000 times a day. Okay, I was still popping onto Facebook and Instagram a lot to consume, not just create. And so I pulled back and I said, man, if I'm going to solve this, I've got to change the way that I think. I can't approach it with the same level of thinking. So one of the things I did is I started to stop the constant flow of communication. Now, it's not perfect. We've started to execute some things that are working insanely well right now, and it's getting me over that hump a little better. And I think in 2020, it's just going to unlock it big time. But we trimmed down the in-the-moment communication and we batch things better. Okay, so there's not as much Slack stuff these days where I'll send it to Alex or to Brady or to Jen, my assistant, or any of my leadership team. Before, I would just send them whatever popped in my mind. I would send them that at that moment, even if they didn't need to get it. So what would happen on their end was it made them like shift and go, oh shoot, the boss sent this my way, I need to adjust to do that. So it would throw them off and make their day and their week busy too. Okay, so what I did was follow my coach's guidance, and he said create some agenda documents. So have your weekly one-on-one meeting with your direct reports. These are not all my direct reports. I have a couple in here that are not my direct reports, but we're kind of working them in some amazing spots. Okay. But what we did is we created a Google document that basically says this: hey, this is Alex and Trevor's shared agenda document for our one-time weekly one-on-one session. That's 30 minutes every week. In that session, Alex shares what he's going through in his biggest blocks. Anything that pops up to him, don't send it to me. Don't Slack it to me. Don't text it to me. Don't email it to me. If it's not urgent, and then we'll review that next week on Monday. So now I'm not getting things from Alex, from Dan, from Kylie, from Chris on the daily basis that pulls me out of. If it's not urgent, if it's not something that has to get done between now and our next regularly scheduled weekly one-on-one, put it in the act when we're on that call. Okay, that was a big unlock, guys, for me, and then I gained back a lot of time. Okay, also we've started to eliminate crappy meetings, and we're not. Guys, what meetings are just crappy? Do you have a real agenda? Require agendas with every meeting, okay? And that's something that I found. I was in a lot of meetings. I'm like, man, how do I just pull myself out of these meetings? How do I pull myself out of this stuff, okay? And so we started to eliminate crappy meetings. I'd be happy to share with you guys any training on how we're doing that. I'm not going to focus on that today. Okay, but the next thing that I did, and I literally did this morning too, is I discovered for me, guys, I want you guys to let me know, I discovered for me that music, certain types of music, gets me in a creative thinking state. And I was going, man, I really need to get in a creative thinking state a lot more, guys. And I found this channel called Deep Focus on Spotify, and Deep Focus is my jam. Okay, it's my jam. I was listening to it this morning, and it's funny because you turn it on, and you go, what is this music? It's kind of funky, but it like puts you in this meditative state where I can just get amazing work done. So find a channel on Spotify that is your jam. That's not the stuff that's going to motivate you, but this music, almost like I forget it's playing, and it just gets my brain waves in the right spot. So number one, eliminate the consistent drip of communication on Slack, on email, on text, on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever it is. Batch your communications with your team better, or if it's just you, batch those things that are not urgent into just doing them once a week. Okay, and then start drinking a crap load of water and turn on deep focus whenever you truly need to get in that focus time. Okay. This one I talked about last year too, and this is a big thing that I think is going to impact a lot of you guys. I'm going to shift my my thing around. I'm standing up, and like I said, guys, I'm in my bedroom in my vacation home, so it's not a fancy background, but it is what it is. So I went over this last year to you guys, and we talked about switching from how to who. Okay. What happens with a lot of us is we're trying to figure out, man, like I need to learn how to generate more leads, or I need to learn how to do this. And you dig in and you start to learn how to do everything. Now, in the early phases, if you're in the seeker mode, you're probably going to have to figure out how to do all that stuff. I did. You're gonna have to do a bunch of Google searches, watch our videos, listen to our carrot cast, do those things. Okay. In the early stages, that seeker stage, you're gonna have to learn how to do a lot of stuff. But as you start to get over $100,000 a year in income, start to switch to who. Okay, to hit the next level, I had to stop trying to find the solution to my problems and start finding the people who can solve it for me. So if you're in this phase where you're getting close to $1 million a year, it's likely who, not how now. Who are the people that already have the answer to be able to do the thing you're wanting to do? Okay, so if you're wanting to ramp up your lead gen and you just don't have the time to do it, who are the people who you can plug in and hire to do it? Okay, if you really need to get your time back, who is the person, that the executive assistant, even if it's part-time person, that can dive in and help you do that stuff? Who, not how. Okay, guys. Number 3, this right here I learned from my coach as well. This is a biggie, guys. So I'm a pretty self-motivated guy. Okay, I'm a pretty self-motivated guy. But the problem was I tricked myself into thinking going into this year that I had nailed the workout thing. Okay, and if you guys heard my call last year, the year before, I talked about how I finally did that. I shifted in my mind from working out meant getting in shape, working out meant this, that, to working out gives me energy. That's the reason I work out, is to get energy back. Okay, that was a massive shift that made it work for me, as I reframed what working out was for me and the result, and it was getting energy back. And that's the reason I do it now. But 2017, 2018, we worked out 3 days a week. And by the time 2018 rolled around and it was over, and 2019 rolled around, I felt like, man, I kind of got this thing figured out. But I got into a little bit of a rut. I got into a little bit of a rut where 3 days a week I'd start missing workouts. You know, I'd start missing this workout and this workout, and then I missed a whole week. Then I'd do all the week next week, and it was just kind of weird. And I felt myself getting into a little bit of a rut. Okay, I felt myself getting into a little bit of a rut. Yeah, that's right. Trevor Augustus said this webinar just leveled up with deep focus music playing in the background. Guys, go to Spotify right now. Okay, go to Spotify right now. Turn on the deep focus channel. And yeah, I love it, Trevor. This might help lock it in even more, guys. Spotify Deep Focus channel. Get it. All right. Okay. So my coach challenged me. He said, how many days a week are you working out? And I proudly said 3. Hey, 3 days, man. 3 days, Coach Dan. Awesome. Okay. But what happened, guys? I proudly said 3. 1 second. I'm going to plug my computer in. And he said, well, 3 is to maintain, Trevor. Every day is to gain. He goes, do you want to gain and grow, or are you just looking to maintain where you are? Guys, that hit me like a ton of bricks. Okay. 3 is to maintain, every day is to gain. Do you want to grow, or do you just want to stay where you are? And I want to ask you guys that question. Okay. Are you in a spot right now where you're trying to get your mindset back? Are you in a spot right now where you're trying to get energy back through working out? Are you in a spot right now where you're trying to advance something in your life and you're pulling back and saying, I'll do it 2 or 3 days a week? Now, let me paint that picture for you in your mind. If you're trying to massively change something in your life in advance, and if you're only doing that thing 2 or 3 days a week, you're actually not doing that thing for more days a week than you are doing that thing. So it's impossible to gain when you're doing that. Okay, unless you're going from 0. Okay, so if you're going from 0, if you're like, I'm not doing this any days a week right now, I'm not working out at all, I'm not doing mindset stuff, I'm not visualizing, I'm not doing any of this stuff at all, start with 3 days a week. That's awesome. You're going to gain now because you're going from 0 to 3. But if you've been in 3 for several months, you're now maintaining. In order to gain, you got to go every day now. And I didn't know what that meant in my mind. I'm like, oh my gosh, every day. I had no clue what unlock every day would do for me. I had no clue that when I started to, Brian says, I'm in the rut, dude. I'm gonna help you get out of it. Okay. So I had no clue, guys, that doing the thing every day was the unlock. Okay. It wasn't creating this crazy big plan. It was doing something every day. Every day is the unlock. Okay. And like I said before, guys, you're most happy when you're in momentum as an entrepreneur. And either way, you're in momentum. You're in positive momentum moving forward. You're in backward momentum, sliding backwards, or you're stagnant right in the middle. And I want you guys to figure out where you are. Are you moving backwards and you can feel that? Are you stagnant, or are you in positive momentum? Okay, right now, as of today, I'm in positive momentum. Okay, in July, I was probably more like a stagnant mode. Okay, and I wanted to get back into positive momentum. And what helped me get there was this right here. It's something called being versus becoming. A friend of mine, Ryan Fletcher, I met him, gosh, guys, probably 2009. He's one of the smartest marketers that I know. One of the smartest people in the world that I know around marketing. He's so smart, actually, that sometimes it can, like, it's to his own detriment, because he's like so wicked smart. Like, oh my gosh, you're blowing my mind. I can't even comprehend it. And so he walked me through this thing called being versus becoming. The first time that I heard it, I honestly didn't, it didn't really register for me. Okay. It took me to go back and watch a video of his in a challenge he has called the Story Athlete Challenge, STORY Athlete Challenge. And I wanted to get out of that writer's block I talked about. In the Story Athlete Challenge, you write every single day. And I'm like, sweet. I was about to skip all the videos at the start of his thing, kind of the primer videos. And I saw this one called Being versus Becoming. I said, okay, cool. I probably already know all this stuff, but I'm going to watch it. He already talked about it at this mastermind that I invited him to of mine. I kind of already know it. Guys, I dug in, and it blew my mind listening to it again with a different perspective and angle several months later, okay? So what I didn't realize was my current self, my self-image of who I currently am was preventing me from becoming the person that I want to be. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? Okay, here's a great quote that kind of leads into it. Someone once told me the definition of hell is the last day you have on earth, the person you became will meet the person you could have become. Okay, someone once told me the definition of hell, the last day you have on earth, the person you became will meet the person you have become. Okay, the person you became will meet the person you have become. LV says thought it started at 11 a.m. my time. LV starts at 11 a.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Pacific time. So guys, who on this call is terrified by this vision? Who on this call would be absolutely terrified to reach the end of your life and go, man, you get to stand face to face with the person that you could have became, the person that you could have became if you adopted different disciplines, if you had made some different decisions in your life, if you had chose to do the hard things and better yourself to get in. Who'd be terrified by that? I know I am. And so I went through a process with Ryan. Right here is labor. I took the process, started to change my life. I went to Carrot Camp. We have Carrot Camp twice a year, and we had a bunch of amazing guys there. It was like, oh, it was such an amazing group of Carrot Campers. This one here is Brent Moreno. Brent and Adam, his business partner, came out, and I did a similar talk there, challenging them on the being versus becoming mindset, which I'm going to show you guys the unlock here in a second. I walked them through what I'm about to walk you through. And after Carrot Camp, he left and he sent this. He said, Carrot Camp has really put me back in the mindset where I needed to be. I got comfortable. Life's been good. Business has been good, but I know I've been slacking. Guys, what is that? That's stagnant momentum. He needed to get back into forward momentum, right? Almost a week nicotine free. You've been smoking for years, guys. Almost a week nicotine free. Okay. I've drank nothing but water. I'm routinely waking up early, exercising. Guys, he wasn't exercising before. He's waking up late. He wasn't drinking water. Okay. Reading more and even journaling. Transformation is coming. It's going to be amazing to see the results. Guys, who wants to have this for yourself? Who wants to have this for yourself? Who wants to have this shift for yourself? Get out of stagnant or backwards momentum and in forwards momentum. The way that you do that, and pop through the comments box, guys. The way that you do that, y'all, the way that you do this right here is this. Okay, I'm going to walk you through a life-changing exercise. Get out a piece of paper right now. Get out a piece of paper right now. And please treat this seriously, because this was my major unlock this year. And this was the major unlock of so many other people I've walked through this with. Okay, take out a piece of paper right now and do this. Okay, and if you can't do it, if there's not enough time to do it fully, because you probably won't have enough time to do this fully, I want you to come back to this part of the workshop and finish this before you shift into 2019. This could change the game for you, okay? So write what you don't like on one side of the paper. So draw a line down the middle of the paper. Do whatever you want to do. I don't care where it is. But write what you don't like about who you are currently being, okay? I'm not talking about your physical features. I'm not talking about stuff that you were born with that you can't change. Okay, that's you. Okay, love yourself. Like, that's you. Embrace yourself. But what is not you is how you are acting, is how you're showing up in life, is how you are choosing to make decisions. That was not baked into you, from birth. That was learned. Those were habits and patterns that were learned. And so for me, I'll give you a great example, guys. Okay, growing up, it was something where my mom loved her to death, but she never really held us to a very high standard of cleaning our rooms and being like clean and neat. So I just kind of wasn't, right? I just wasn't. And so I remember, and this is embarrassing to say honestly, but I remember literally in grade school where we would have to have an entire Saturday to clean the darn bedroom because it was so messy. You couldn't see an inch of the floor. That's how messy I was. So then I get to high school, get to college, I got married. My wife is really clean and neat, so we balance each other well. And in my mind, like, my wife was always kind of razz me for, hey, why don't you pick those things up? Hey, can you get the other side of your bed cleaned up? Hey, your closet, whatever it is. And I would always have this thing in my mind to go, man, that's just me though, babe. Like that's just kind of me. I'm just kind of messy. I'm just kind of messy. And that was just a story I was telling myself. That wasn't true. That was how I was behaving. Those were decisions I was choosing to make. Those weren't decisions that were just baked into me. I could change that if I wanted to. When I did this exercise, I wrote those things down. I didn't like being inconsistent. I didn't like being messy. I didn't like being the person who shows up 2 minutes late to everything. And here's why. I didn't like the fact that I don't recognize people for accomplishments, including my own, as well as they should be. I want to do that. I don't like that I behave that way. Okay, what are the other things? I don't like the fact that I would show up to my house and have my phone with me and not be tuned in presently with my kids and my wife. I don't like the fact that there's a million things. I wrote down a lot. Like what I want you guys to do is write down, what do you not like about who you are currently being? What do you not like about how you currently are acting? Okay. Are you someone who does this thing and you don't like it? Write down all those things. Okay. Write down those things right now. And I'll give you about a minute. Okay. So write down what you don't like about who you are currently being. While you're doing that, I'm going to grab a drink of water. And guys, I'm going to give away one of these water bottles too. At the end of the call, I'm going to give away one of these carrot water bottles to one lucky person. You've got to be on at the end of the call to get the water bottle. Okay. And I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I'm going to give away one of the water bottles. I want to see you guys drink more water. End of the call, I'll give it away. But guys, 1 minute, write down what you currently don't like about who you are currently being, how you're acting, how you're behaving, the choices you're making. And you guys are probably going, hey, I came in this call to do annual planning, right? When's he going to get to the annual planning? Well, we've got the worksheets there linked up on the live page. But guys, if we don't tackle this stuff first, we can help you plan all the amazing numbers in the world. It's not going to matter. Like, it's not going to matter what business goals you hit if you don't take care of this stuff first. Okay. Roger says, coffee doesn't count for water, huh? Dude, Roger, right there. Roger says, God, I need more time for this list. Yeah, dude, awesome. Do it. So start it right now and then finish it later today. Like, the important thing is that you need to finish it, okay? Because this is going to be your unlock for you, all right? Cool. All right, guys, so we're going to dive into number 2 now. So next to each one of those items or below it, wherever you get, why is it important that you change that, okay? For me, why is it important that I guy who's always 2 minutes late? And I'm going to tell you that I have not solved that yet, okay? I haven't solved it. I've gotten better, but I've not solved it. Why is it important? Because it makes people that are impacted feel like they're not cared. That's important to me. Why do I keep on showing up late? It makes me feel like I don't have control over my time. It shows the control over my time. It shows the impression to others that I'm not organized. Like that, it's important to me to not have that reputation. And what we're going to be talking about here, guys, is changing your reputation. The reputation is what we're wanting to change. So why is it important that each one of those items you wrote down, that they be changed? Okay. Twin City Homebuyer says, this is amazing. Trevor, do you ever sleep? I do, man. I sleep 7 to 8 hours a night. Sleep like a baby. Awesome. So I'm going to give you guys a minute. Why is it important to you that each one of those things changes in your life? What is it impacting? Why is it important that you not do that in life? Who is it impacting? Okay. How is it holding you back? Each one of those items. And once again, you're not going to have time probably to go through all these guys. Finish this. This should be your number one priority after this call, is to finish this list. Okay. And let me toss it out to you guys. Let's have a little bit of interaction. Can someone pop through one thing, and be vulnerable, guys? Be vulnerable here. Can someone pop through one thing that you wrote on your list of, this is something I just don't like about myself. This is something I don't like about who I'm currently being. And once again, this should not be, hey, my nose is big. This should not be, I'm 5'6" instead of 6'5". It's not that stuff. Okay. It's the stuff that you can change right now. Okay. So guys, if someone can be vulnerable here, let's do this. The first person to toss through something really vulnerable, I'll give a water bottle. I'll go give away another one at the end. One thing that's really vulnerable about yourself that you wrote down. Okay, not getting up early enough, not following through, pretty deep, makes sense. Okay, cool. Let's go with Kathy. She was the first one. Kathy, you've already got a water bottle. Well, I'm going to go through both Kathy's and Michael's. Okay, guys, there's a lot of good stuff. Weight. Okay, procrastination, exchanging hours for dollars, procrastination. Funny, as you drink water just now and I reach for my water bottle. I know. Why do you think I have this darn thing here, guys? Creating patterns. Okay. Being late, allowing distractions, not getting up early enough. Let's tackle a couple of these. So Michael, if you can, or Michelle, I'm sorry, Michelle Gibbs, if you can let our team know what your mailing address is, we'll get you out a water bottle. Kathy, if you guys can jot something down, Kathy, we'll get you one of our positivity t-shirts if you don't have one yet. Okay. So Michelle says not getting up early enough. Michelle, why is it that matters to you? Why is it that it matters to you that you should get up earlier? Okay. Why is it that it matters to you, Michelle, that you should get up earlier? Francisco says, inconsistent with doing things I do. Capstone says, not being the best father that I know I can be. Why? Like, write that down. Why? Okay. You have the t-shirt too? Kathy, you got it all. Well, let us know, Kathy, what you don't have, and then we'll get you something else. I love it. Okay. Homes by Nicole says, start something and not finishing it. Donovan says, procrastination and not being all in. Okay. Guys, there's a lot of good stuff in here. So I'm a great dreamer, but my follow through sucks. Awesome, Janelle, write that down. Okay. Why is it? So here's the thing. Now I want you to answer this. Why is it important, Janelle, or anyone else is doing this? Why is it important to you that you change that? That's the key here, guys, because you can write down all day long the crap that you don't like about how you're acting. And that's what a lot of us do. That's what a therapist is going to do, is identify what's wrong with you. Very, very, not very often does they actually point out how to change it. And the way that you change it is by being clear on your why, by being clear on why it matters, that you're being clear on exactly why you need to change that thing. Okay. So someone let me know your why on one of these things. Okay. So Janelle says, I'm a great dreamer, but follow through sucks. Why is it, Janelle, that that's important to you? Okay, let me know that. Why? Let's see. Yep, easily distracted, shiny apple syndrome. Great ideas, not executing. Guys, these are all normal things. I want you guys to know these are normal things. Okay, these are normal. Okay, so write down that why. Okay, even with calendars not sticking to schedules. Cameron Johnson, why is it important that you stick with schedules? You're not going to change that pattern unless you get clear on why. Okay, now I'm going to move to step 3 here. Okay, now I'm going to move to step 3. So as soon as you've identified why each one of those items is important that you change in your life, now here's what we need to do. I want you to pull back now, and you're not going to have time for this. Finish this after the workshop so we can get into the planning stuff, okay? But I want you guys to write down your vision of the person that you want to become, okay? So you just wrote down who you currently are. This is the person that I currently am. And these are the things I don't like about the way that I currently act or the way that I show up in life. And this is why it's important that each one of these things changes in my life. And now you get a chance to rewrite your script, guys. Now you guys get to rewrite your vision. Now Cameron says, I asked him why. Why is it important? Why is it important you change your schedule? He says that you are better with your schedule or you show up on time. He said, because I do not practice time management. I'm not talking that why, guys. I'm not talking about the why. I'm not talking like, why are you that way? I'm saying, why does it matter that you change that? Okay, why does it matter, Cameron, that you change the fact that you're not sticking to your schedule? Why does it matter to you that you change the fact that you are not showing up on time to stuff or whatever it is? Okay. Okay. Janelle says, my follow through, if I follow through more, it's what gets me time freedom with my husband and kids. There's probably a bunch of other whys in there, Janelle. Some of them are reputation, right? So it's not even time freedom, Janelle. It's your husband and kids might be getting the brunt of you not following through on things, and it takes time away from you and in your family. Are there situations where you've had to pull away from a family function or from your family because you had to go do something that you should have done yesterday, but you didn't follow through on it? Have you had circumstances where you fell down on following through on something you committed to, whether it was your husband or your kids, and you had to go do some work thing? You said, hey kids, we're going to go out and do this thing, but then you didn't follow through because you didn't organize your time well over here. Those are the things, right? Right? Cool. So now I want you guys to start this. Write down your vision for who you want to become. Okay. So for me, when I was doing this, I wrote down those things, being late to everything, 2 minutes. You did it, all these things. I wrote down, so kid, this is the person I want to become. I want to be a person who is prompt. I want to be a person who has a reputation for being giving, for being, for being a really good visionary, but someone who can also make sure to lead through an amazing team to execute a grand plan. I want to be a person who is seen as reliable. I want to be a person who is seen as the person that they could call or text if they're really wanting to trust in getting some guidance or advice. I want to be the person for my husband for my wife, for my kids, that could rely on me me being there when I say that I am, and that it can lighten the load on my wife when sometimes I add the load on there when I'm not there on time. I want to be the person who's consistent and predictable in the right ways for my spouse and for my team. Okay, I want to be the person also who is who's kind of more spontaneous in the right ways with my wife and with my team. Spontaneous in the way that we celebrate, spontaneous in the way that we love on each other, spontaneous in those ways. I started to write down that vision for myself on paper. And here's the key, guys. This is how we change this all now. Okay, this is how we change this all now. So we just identified what current things are we doing in our lives. What's our current reputation? Okay, those things you talked about before are your current reputation. And the problem is, guys, we make decisions. We're making decisions in our life every day based off of who we currently are. So we go into something saying, well, I'm always kind of like usually a little bit late to stuff anyway. It's not a big deal. I'll take 5 minutes extra on this call, and it's okay if I'm a couple minutes late. That's who I currently am. So I'm making a decision based on who I currently am. Okay, on my current standards, right? What else pops up? So my if I commit to something on a phone call with someone, okay, my current reputation is like, well, shoot, I'm okay with doing things last minute. I'll just sock in and do the stuff last minute really quick. It's okay. I've been successful with that in the past. Okay. So that's my current reputation saying, okay, cool. It's okay to do that because those are your current standards. What we want to do, guys, is completely change your reputation. And the only way to change your reputation, y'all, is by changing your beliefs. It's the only way. It's the only way to change your reputation is by changing your beliefs. And there's a very specific pattern on how to do that. Your beliefs inform your choices, okay? What you believe in is the first domino. What you believe in is the first domino. If I believe or don't have a belief that being on time is important, then I probably will make choices to make it so I'm not on time. If I have a belief that if I have a belief or do not have a belief that that working out or drinking a lot of water is important, then I will probably make the choices to reinforce that belief. Okay. If I have a belief that water is going to give me energy and it's going to change my life, and if I drink a gallon of water a day, it's going to make the whole rest of the day better, I'm going to be making choices all throughout the day to support that belief. If I don't have that belief, then I'm going to make choices all day to support that opposite belief. Okay. So your beliefs inform your choices. When you make those choices enough, your choices become commitments. Guys, if you guys are liking this, share this puppy up on Facebook, share this puppy up on Instagram, start to use that hashtag carrot epic 2020. I think it's that carrot epic 2020, whatever it was I gave earlier. Team, if you guys could pop through the hashtag through here so they can know what it is. Guys, share this up if this is working for you. Take screenshots of this, tag carrot too, and I want other people to get this. I'm not selling anything on this call. All I'm selling is a way forward for you guys to change your life and business. We're going to be more successful when you do that. Okay. So guys, share it up. So your beliefs inform your choices. Your choices, when you make those choices enough, become commitments. Now, these are good choices and bad choices. Okay. If I make the choice to stay up late till 12 o'clock every night, and I do it for 3 weeks in a row, 6 weeks in a row, 6 months in a row, I have made a commitment that I'm a night owl, that I do not wake up early. Okay. And now that becomes a discipline. After you do those commitments long enough, you stick to those commitments long enough, and now that's your reputation. So let's give this with a really, really good example here. Okay. So guys, for years I said I'm not a morning person. What time did I get up this morning? 5 a.m. Okay. I got up at 5 a.m. today. Why did I get up at 5 a.m.? Because that's my reputation now. Okay. Before, my reputation was I'm a night owl. I get my best work done at night. And I want you guys to let me know who can relate to this. Who can relate to this exactly what I'm going to say here. Okay. In years past, this is what I would say. This was the story I told myself. These were the beliefs that I had. This was the person I was currently being that I didn't like, but I didn't know how to get out of it. I said, guys, you know what? I like the idea of waking up early. I know there's all those books out there that talk about miracle morning and this and that. But you know what? I get my best work done at night. I get my best work done at night. It's like between that midnight and 3 in the morning kind of things when my most creative work happens. I'm just not a morning person. I'm kind of a night owl. And so, you know, I've tried everything to wake up early, and I've tried the fancy alarm, and I've tried the fancy app, and I've tried the breathe right strips, and I've tried all these things. You know, I've tried setting 14 alarms, and I've even tried like going to bed a little bit early, and it just didn't work. You know, I'm just a night owl. I'm not a morning person. Okay. Can anyone relate to that right there? Okay. If you can, I can guarantee you guys that you are a morning person. The problem is your beliefs support that you're not. Okay, so here's what you need to do. You need to shift your beliefs up front. So your first belief is you get your most creative work done at night. Okay, is that actually true? If you got enough sleep and you could just shift your whole work cycle up forward and do work before people get up, that I know, like whenever I would get up early, I knew that those mornings felt great. The mornings they never felt great when I woke up late, when I was rushed into the morning, rushed getting the kids ready. I didn't get a chance to really, have a bunch of water and have a slow morning to kind of get my head wrapped around it. I knew that that was not the best way, but I couldn't figure out how to be a morning person. So I shifted my beliefs. I said, okay, what if I could be a morning person? What if I am a morning person? You know what? In fact, I am a morning person. I'm a person who is a morning person. I'm a person who wakes up early. I'm a person who enjoys getting my creative work done early. I'm a person who absolutely loves the slow start of the morning to get my head wrapped around things. You know what? I'm going to completely shift the way that I am. And so then I looked at my choices. Okay, said, cool, first domino knocked down. That's my belief around that. What choices am I making now that don't support that? The person who I want to become gets up early. The person who I want to become gets those things done early. The person who I want to become is motivated and pumped up to get done things in the morning. They go to bed early. That's the person I want to become. I don't want to be the night owl, the person who's inconsistent, the person who wakes up late, the person who like flows into the day because the day took care of them. They didn't take care of it. Okay. So what choices do I have to change? Do I got to get up? If I'm going to get up early, I have to get enough sleep. So I need to move my whole day up. Cool. Now that's a choice. Awesome. I'm going to go to bed by 10:30 at night now. That'll help me get up some 10 or 10:30. That makes it so I can get up at 5 a.m. Okay. Awesome. What other choices do I need to make that are preventing me from doing that? Well, eating after 8 o'clock. Every time I'd eat after 8 o'clock or not drink enough water, my body would just not be right. And I would have crappy sleep and I'd wake up like almost in a stupor in the next morning. Okay. I'd almost have a hangover and I didn't drink any alcohol. So I said, cool. Another choice done. I'm not eating after 8 o'clock anymore unless like a special circumstance. What else? And I went down the list of all the choices that were preventing me from doing that stuff. I started making those choices. I started setting the schedule to go to bed at 10 or 10:30. I started to make those choices to drink a lot of water, drinking, close to a gallon of water a day, almost every day, drinking at least that. Except for here this last week, I haven't made that choice very well. Okay, that became commitments. That became my disciplines all of a sudden, and then my reputation became a morning person. You guys can change each one of these things. Okay, being versus becoming. You need to, and here's the unlock here. Then we're going to advance on to the next thing. Is every single decision you guys make now moving forward, I want you to picture that person that you want to become, that person that you wrote down, that person that is showing up to life in this very specific way. Okay, I want you to picture that person and say, how would this person do this? What decision would this person make when they're faced with this decision? I'm going to give you guys a real life example. Okay, let me share my iPad really fast. All right, and I'm going to show you share with you something called discipline ceilings. All right, guys, there's hundreds of people on this call, almost 300 people on this call right now. So I'm going to share with you guys something I call discipline ceilings. And then what I'm going to do, and I'm drawing on my fancy iPad here. Then what I'm going to do, guys, is actually we'll move it sideways. There you go. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a real world scenario of how I did this. Okay, to completely change things for me earlier in the year. All right, so let's pull this puppy up. Where you at, iPad? Okay. Cool. So discipline ceilings, guys. Here's what I had discovered. Okay. So what happens to all of us in life is we start down here. Okay. You're at wherever you want to be. And then you've got this vision for somewhere over here, right? Like you've got this vision for where you want to go up here or here, wherever it is. Okay. And when you start marching along and like, man, I've got something figured out. I made this mindset unblock. Today might be one of those times. I made that mindset unblock. Things are going great. Man, I feel like I finally figured this life thing out, right? And you have your ups and downs, but then what happens is you like hit this ceiling and you don't notice it the first time you hit it. Okay. I'm going to delete this really quick. You don't notice the first time that you hit it. Okay. Cause it's just, hey, you just don't really notice that. And then it kind of goes back down and then you hit it again, then you hit it again. This right here is where you hit stagnancy. Okay. This is where you have stagnant momentum. Okay. Stagnant right there. Okay. And sometimes you can risk going backwards. What you need to do is usually you hit those ceilings, I found out, because of disciplines, okay? Because these are disciplines over here, Okay, these are your disciplines, and this is your progress forward right here. All right. So it's your disciplines that are actually holding you back from getting where you want to go in life. Whenever you hit these ceilings, you likely have some disciplines that you need to change in your life. So this discipline here might be better managing your schedule. It might be waking up early. And as soon as you start waking up at 5 or 6 in the morning, it unlocks everything else. You go, bam, I shoot back up here. I blasted through that. This was the early morning discipline. So wake up. Okay, whatever that is at that time. And I can walk you through in another call exactly what disciplines I had to shift at different times in my life. And then things are going great again, You don't know it when you hit that ceiling the first time, but then 2-3 months later, you realize, man, I'm in a funk, right? These are funk. Okay, cool. What happens, guys? It's a discipline again. Another discipline is your unlock. Bam, you do it again, you do it again. Okay, so you guys have to know that throughout life, these things are the things that are to unlock you. There's certain disciplines that are going to unlock you. Some of the disciplines I walked you through today, doing something every day. For me, that was this one. Okay. Another discipline I had to do a year and a half to 2 years ago was using my daily habit tracker and goal sheet. Okay, that's something you guys are going to get access to today. I'm going to show you how to do it. That was a discipline that got me up to here. Okay, a discipline in 2016 that I kept on hitting a wall was energy. Like, I need to get energy back. So that's when I started adopting a new discipline of working out, and I created that reputation. Okay, then I created this reputation of being more organized, and then this reputation here started to be created towards the back half of this year. It kind of had a little stumbling blocks. I'll tell you guys here in a second. But this discipline here was figuring out the things to do every day that moved me forward. Okay, so you guys are always going to hit these discipline ceilings when you guys are going through life. Just recognize that that's going to happen and be okay with it. And just start to be better at noticing these things. Start to be better at noticing when you guys are hitting those ceilings. Start to be better at noticing when you hit those ceilings, you're in the funks. Pull back, go through the being versus becoming part of it. Look at your beliefs and go, hey, what beliefs do I need to adopt in order to advance towards the person I want to be? And then, cool, what choices do I need to start changing that are going to help support that belief? And then when you're in that scenario, where you have to make the choice, and I'll tell you how I did it here in a second, we'll dive into the planning, then you're gonna go, man, what would the person I want to become do in this situation? Well, you know what? Of course they would get up early. The person I want to become, of course they wouldn't drink the coffee right now, they'd drink the water. The person I want to become, of course, they would put buffer time between the counters so they don't show up late. Okay, the person that I want to become, of course they would pull back and actually celebrate people instead of just moving on to the next goal. Okay, Tony Robbins says it great. Anytime you sincerely want to make a change, the first thing you must do is raise your standards. Okay, when people ask me what really changed my life 8 years ago, I tell them the absolutely most important thing was changing what I demanded of myself. I wrote down all the things I would no longer accept in my life, all the things I would no longer tolerate, and all the things that I aspire to become. And guys, what is Tony Robbins saying? He's saying the exact same thing I said a little bit ago. Okay, and this message did not come from Tony Robbins. This message came from somebody else, a buddy of mine, and now it's finally feeding into my life. Okay, guys, the funny thing is timing is so important. This quote was on my darn epic planning call last year. Okay, I have a new meaning to it this year because I realized, man, I needed to increase my standards even more, and I didn't have a clear path to do that. I didn't have a model to do that. This is the model now. So anytime I hit those funks, I pull back and do this. What do I not like about who I currently am being? Why is it important that I change that in my life? Okay, and then what's my vision for that person I want to become? All right, guys. Okay. Trevor says things you won't tolerate, like what? So like what were the things I talked about before? Those things you don't like about how you're currently acting. I won't tolerate not being a morning person. I won't tolerate sleeping in anymore. I won't tolerate eating crappy foods that drag my energy down. I won't tolerate not giving my body what it needs to drink enough water so I have the energy and I have the life I need. I won't tolerate, doing a ton of energy sucking work anymore. I'm going to find people who can help me do this stuff. Okay, all those things. All right. Cool. Discipline, guys, trumps motivation all day long. Take a screenshot of this. This is going to be Brian Fletcher, my buddy. This quote came from, I love it. Discipline is much more powerful than motivation. Motivation is what you get at a seminar. Motivation is what you're going to get in this call, guys. Okay, this is motivation. Okay, but it's temporary. Okay, this motivation is going to last you a couple days. It's short-lived. Discipline, however, is the sustained habit to fine-tune your routine so that motivation never plays into the equation. Motivation is the fuel for losers. That's Fletcher's quote. Now, I love it. It's direct to the point. It hits you hard. Who on this call is way, way, way guilty like I am and have been for many years. And like I said, I worked my way out of it a lot this past couple of years. who is just a motivation junkie, you know, where you're pulling up the Tony Robbins videos every day, and you're pulling up all these things, and you go to the seminar, and all those things are amazing. I'm not saying you shouldn't do them. You should do them. They're amazing. I love them. Motivate, guys, I love motivation. Okay, but motivation is short-lived. So if that's all that we're doing is trying to be motivated and trying to go to the next candy fix, okay, motivation is like, it's like candy. You know, it's amazing. It tastes sweet. You feel great when you're eating it. But if you only eat candy all the time, it's going to give you cavities. If you only focus on motivation and not discipline and not disciplines, you're going to get cavities. You're going to see things start to rot away. You're going to be wondering why I'm not where I want to be in life. You're going to be wondering what my next steps are forward. Disciplines are going to solve it. Discipline is the sustained habit to fine-tune your routine so that motivation never plays into the equation, guys. How do we make motivation never play into the equation for you? Okay. This is another thing here, and this is exactly how I cracked out of this, and then we'll dive into the planning documents. We'll start. And for any of you guys who this is your first epic planning call, they're called epic because these things are long. Okay, I'm being honest with you guys. I'm working in a several day workshop in like a several hour period. This is not an hour workshop. I couldn't serve you well if it was an hour workshop. Okay, Tony Robbins does week-long workshops for a reason, because it gets you into the emotional state to move you. If I were to give you just a bunch of templates and resources and try to not move you first, you're gonna be jotting down all these templates and resources. You're gonna have a sucky year. I need to move you first. I need to have one thing that gets into the seed of your mind that makes you want to change. And hopefully one of these things I bring in that's worked for me is going to be that. I know all of them won't, but hopefully one of them is. Okay. So consistency is inspiring, not flashiness. I want you guys to think about, who are the people that you follow on Instagram? Who are the people that you follow on Facebook? Who are the people that you follow all the time? Okay. Now, the ones that are the most inspirational to me anyway are not the ones that are posting the fancy cars or the big check. Okay, those do not inspire me. They're interesting. Okay, it jumps out to you. It's flashy. Okay, but the ones who are inspiring, guys, are the ones who I find on Instagram who are like every day posting that they're doing this boring thing every day. Okay, I go, man, how does this guy just like show up and do that every day? And he posts every single day, and he doesn't miss a day on that he woke. You know, Jocko Willink as an example, posts every day, guys, his watch at 4 a.m. when he wakes up, and then he posts his workout every day. I'm talking like for years. And I look at it and go, man, like that's hard, but that's inspiring. Like how do you get to that spot in your life, guys, where you are so dialed in that you have a standard, and you're going to meet that damn standard because you know it's important to live up to be the person you want to be. Okay. That's inspiring. That's inspiring. Okay. So my coach challenged me on this. He said, Trevor, what you need to do, and this is at the same time I was going through Ryan Fletcher's learnings, and they were very related. He said, Trevor, we want to do a daily challenge. Okay, we're going to do a push-up challenge, and part of this challenge is drink a gallon of water every day, read 10 pages of a book every day. Not listen, okay, read, because reading takes a different discipline. This is what I'm reading right now, 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. Reading takes a discipline. You have to be focused to read. Podcasts are great, but you can be driving, you can be mowing a lawn, you can be working. You're completely distracted when you're listening to a podcast or an audiobook, okay? But when you pick up a book and read it, you have to be 100% focused. The exercise is not in consuming a lot of information. The exercise is in pulling back and actually being focused, okay? That's the exercise. So 3 things: do push-ups every day, drink a gallon of water, and read 10 pages. Now, the push-ups wasn't just push-ups. It was a challenge to do 100 push-ups in a row. Now, most people are going to be able to crank out 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 on their first shot. But here's what he said. He said, everybody get on the ground right now and do as many push-ups as you can in good form right now. And some people literally could only do 6. Some people did 40. Okay, and he said, cool, that's your baseline. Now what I want you to do is every single day, add 1 extra push-up a day. And if you just do that one exercise, one push-up, 1 extra push-up a day, eventually you will be able to get to 100 push-ups in a row. And I think I did 40 or something like that push-ups in a row, maybe 50, because I've been working out quite a bit on that first shot. And I'm like, man, 100 in a row, dude, I don't know about that. What was that, guys? That was my current self speaking to myself. That was my current picture of myself saying, hey, this is who you currently are. This is your current standard. I hadn't shifted that yet. And so I got down and started doing this. I started doing this every day, drinking a gallon of water, reading the 10 pages, doing an extra push-up. And in this picture here, I did 82 push-ups in a row. I was on the fast track to 100. Okay. And what happened was people started to see me. And then Brady on the team started doing push-ups. This is his first day. He did 41 push-ups. Okay. And then this right here was a carrot camper, Christoph. He started nailing his push-ups. Day 4, 61 push-ups, read 10 pages, drank a gallon of water. Okay. And a bunch of others were following. Keith Sant, who's on this call, crushed it, guys. He completed the 100 push-up challenge. He did over 100 push-ups in a row at the end of the challenge by adding 1 extra push-up a day. Now, this is not about push-ups. It's not about getting big pecs. It's not about getting in shape. Okay. What this is about, guys, is the mindset shift that happens here. The mindset shift that happens here, guys, when you start to do something every day is the unlock. It's not the reading. It's not the water particularly. It's not the push-ups. It's when you don't want to do that push-up and you haven't done them at 10:30 at night and you pull back and you say, you know what? The person that I want to become would do the push-ups. Okay, the person that I want to become would do the push-ups. Let me change slide real quick, guys. All right, so that's where the unlock comes, is you're actually pulling back and saying, you know what? The person I want to become would not wuss out. They would not say, I'll kick it to next morning. They would get down and do the darn push-up. And when you make that decision 4, 5, 6, 10, 12 times in a row, you make the hard decision to do the hard thing, not the easy thing. That's when your brain completely rewires. Okay. And that's when I started getting massive momentum. Keith got massive momentum during this. And the whole exercise was, and here's a real example. It was like day 6, 7 or whatever it was. And it was 10:30 at night. I hadn't done my push-ups yet. And believe me, I did not want to do them. I didn't want to do them. And what I did was, oh, well, shoot, it's not a big deal. Like, I'll just wake up early tomorrow and I'll do my push-ups. And, you know, I ate a little bit late. I wasn't feeling it. I made a couple bad choices. And okay, cool. You know, I'll just do the push-ups tomorrow morning. Not a big deal. What's 8 hours going to do, right? Because I was thinking about what it was actually going to do to me physically, not mentally. I wake up the next morning, did the push-ups. I actually went backwards 1 or 2 push-ups because when you don't do something every day, you start to get negative momentum. And then I said, man, I missed the chance to completely shift my mind. And so then the next day I said, okay, I'm going to do these every day. I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care. Like, this is what it's all about, is making these decisions, making these choices. And probably a week or 2 out, again, I had one of those moments. It's 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock at night. Okay. And I hadn't done my push-ups yet. And I was about ready to go to bed. And I pulled back and I said, you know what? What would the person I want to become do in this situation? Would they say, I'm going to do these tomorrow? Or would they just get down and do the damn push-ups? And I thought about that person I want to become, that vision from that exercise I talked about before. And I'm like, you know what? That person would totally do the push-ups. Like, they wouldn't even be questioning themselves. So I got down and did the push-ups. I felt amazing about it. Okay. And then it happened the next day and the next day and the next day. It starts to rewire your brain, guys. Consistency inspires people. Showing up every day and doing that hard thing is going to completely rewire your brain. It's the power of tiny gains. When you do something when you do 1% better every day, it's not a 360% improvement. It's actually like a 37,000% improvement over the course of a year, because it compounds. So are you doing things every couple days that you want to change in your life? Are you committing to go, I'm going to make the choice every day to doing this thing? It could be drinking a gallon of water every day. And when it's 11 o'clock at night and you're really close to the gallon, don't let yourself off the hook and say, I was close, I'll just do it tomorrow. Finish the rest of the water. Finish the gallon. It's the mental mindset shift, not the actual water that's going into your body that's the change. Okay. If you are working out 5 days a week and it's Thursday and you don't feel like it and you've got a bunch of work to do, get in and do the darn workout. It's not about the workout. It's about the mental mindset shift. Okay, guys. Awesome. Sweet. So let's dive into the planning side of things now. So the next hour or so, and I'll answer a bunch of Q&A. Like I said, guys, this is the epic planning call because it is epic. It's a lot of stuff. And I wanted to focus the most amount of time on mental mindset shifts, the biggest things that I had changed in my life this year, and biggest wins. Okay. And so those were some of the big wins. I talked about some of the big losses as well. And there were some personal losses too, kind of before we dive in here, guys. There were some personal losses too, and I'll make sure that the slides are catching up with me. We had a couple deaths, that were very, very close to me that just hit and just rocked me. There was one that many in the carrot world heard about. The carrot campers rallied big time. My assistant, Jen, her husband passed away in a fluke accident. 3 young kids, mid 30-something-year-old guy, just something you never predict. And I think it really adds that mortality, in the mind where you go, man, you know what? Me, like, putting up with these low standards because of whatever, because I'm lazy, because of other people and what they're going to think about me. Like, that's just got to be done, because you never know when life is going to, when your number is going to be called, you never know when that's going to happen. And so those things were a big deal. My uncle passed away about a month ago. Just, uncle I was really close to. He's my godfather. It's like makes you think. And you just go, geez, am I doing the right things? Am I doing a business that I want to do, that I'm passionate about, that can truly have an impact? Am I spending the right time in the right spots? Those are the things that are important. I want you guys to figure out what are those things for you. Okay. So guys, I'm going to flip over to the planning process now. Did you guys get value? Did you guys get value? Still hundreds of people on this call. Did you guys get value from the mindset shifts, from me walking through my learnings from the year? Pop to the comments box if you guys did get value from that in my learnings from the year. Some other big things I didn't do really well, guys, pop to the comments box and we'll move over to the planning. Some other things I didn't do great is we hired more of a leadership team, but I didn't do a good job coaching them. Okay, that's kind of goes back to the billionaire code, where I wasn't helping them get ahead well enough. And so that's something I'm going to be focusing on a lot more this year. I have a coach. If you guys don't have a coach, I suggest you get one. Awesome, guys. Tons of absolutely. Yes. Guys, let me know. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was in the comments box. Awesome. Boom. Incredible breakthrough. I love it, guys. That's what I want to have here is a breakthrough. David Wright, this has been great. Thank you. Awesome. It's crazy. Guys, pop through. Let me know what your biggest takeaway so far from the call is. Pop it through. Okay, what's the biggest takeaway from the call so far, guys? Pop it through. Let me know, okay? I love it. Sweet. So I'm going to dive into the planning now. All right, so my 6-step planning process is a little bit different than last year's. Okay, a little bit different than last year's here. 1 second. Where are we at here? Okay, trying to get my slides working. Being versus becoming, accountability, so much value, so good. I love it. What's up, John? Thanks, man. Cool. What's going on with my slides? There we go. Cool. All right, guys, the six steps. Diagnose where you currently are. We diagnosed personally where you are, mentally where you are a little bit ago. So we already kind of jump started this, okay? Next is clarifying your vision story. Guys, what did we talk about earlier on the personal side of things? You have to know where you are currently, and then you have to know where your vision is moving forward. It's the same thing with business. Okay, with business, we're going to be completely shifting this call now towards business. You got to know where you are. You got to know where you're going, okay? David Wright, I become who I want to be. I love it, guys. Love this stuff, okay? Number 3 is eliminating your limiting beliefs. Okay, number 3, once we identify where we are and we identify where we want our business to go, then we have to eliminate like those limiting beliefs that are getting in our way of actually achieving that or believing that we can achieve it. Okay, number 4, crafting your critical numbers. What are those goals? So when I'm diving in now, after I eliminate those limiting beliefs and craft the story, and we diagnose where we are, we go, cool, what are we going for? What are our biggest goals this year? And then we set objectives around the goals. And then I do what's called preloading the year for success. Now, guys, I did an entire series. So I'm going to be kind of doing the high level overview of some of these. I did an entire series in our podcast, the Carrot Cast. If you guys go to Google and type up carrotcast.com, okay, what you can do is you can find this series that I did on end of the year business planning that dives into each one of these 5 things in more detail. Okay, each one of these five things into more detail. So let's go to carrotcast.com, subscribe to it on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, whatever it is. Okay, but go through here and you're going to see these things from the podcast series that I did on the planning side of it. Okay, and actually our team will link up some sort of a playlist on those ones as well, because like I said, I have an episode on each one of these things here. Okay, awesome. So the first thing is diagnose where you are. You can't grow if you don't know where you're starting. And this was me once again leading into 2019. Is I thought I had things dialed in, but really I didn't have a clear plan on exactly where I was fitness wise, family, friends, financial. So this is exercise number 2. Take out the same piece of paper, guys. Take out the same piece of paper. Can you guys see my screen where it says take this quick test? My 5 F's. I want you guys to take 2 minutes and do this. Okay, write down on the piece of paper. Fitness, family, friends, financial, faith, all vertically, leave some space, okay? So fitness, family, friends, financial, faith. Those are the 5 F's. And these are the 5 F's that I encourage all of you guys to grade yourself on a quarterly basis. This is something that is a really good barometer to kind of check, hey, what do I need to change in my life? What am I doing great at that I can celebrate? And the first one's fitness, okay? On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being, man, I'm just struggling with this terribly. 5 being absolutely crushing it, could not get better. I want you guys to rate yourself on what your fitness, how is your fitness right now in your life? Okay, 1 to 5. And fitness is crazy important because without the body, the mind isn't going to work great. Without the body, all these goals don't even matter. Okay, so give yourselves a grade, guys, 1 to 5 on fitness. 1 being struggling with it terribly, 5 being, oh man, just couldn't be better. 3 being, hey, yeah, I'm kind of happy about it, but I just also know I'm just nowhere where I want to be. Okay, pop through the comments box, guys. If pop through the comments box, your number. Are you 1 to 5, whatever it is, pop through the comments box, okay? Number 2, family. Okay, your relationship with your family. How are you doing 1 to 5? Okay, and I split up family and friends very, very purposefully here. So 1 to 5, family, friends. 1 being, man, I'm completely not showing up in life. I'm completely struggling with all this. I'm the worst dad, worst father, worst wife, worst husband, worst whatever it is. Okay, 5 being, man, could not be better. Okay, awesome. Friends. Guys, friends group is hugely important, especially for entrepreneurs, because we get so locked into our businesses that we forget, and I'm way guilty of this, we forget to focus on our friends, and friends are one of the most important things to being happy. There's so many studies that have been published showing that your friends circle is one of the biggest things that leads towards happiness and fulfillment. Okay, what's your number for friends? Going into 2018, my number was probably like a 2. I just wasn't focusing on friends much. It was higher on family, high in financial, kind of midway on faith. I just wasn't consistent with that. Fitness was really good. I marked that a 4 at that time in 2018. Okay, but friends was a 2. So one thing I changed going into the year in 2019 was, hey, I want to put every other Thursday a breakfast on my calendar that does not move with friends. Okay, so friends, guys, you can put these things in place. And when I took this at the end of 2018, like I said, friends was low, and I said I'm going to change that this next year. So we've got some amazing friends in the office that work in the office now. I have a every other Thursday breakfast, like I said, with friends. I just had an amazing one a week or 2 ago. And there's some other things we're starting to do. Going into 2019, my wife and I said, hey, we want to have more people over to our house this year. Like in the summer, 4 times a month, we're going to have people over the house. And we almost nailed it. So it was really cool. Financial. Okay, same thing. Faith. Okay, what I want you guys to do is circle the 1 or 2 that you guys are struggling the most with. Man, if you have any 1s, then you need to do that. Cash Out House LLC, fitness is a 1, family is a 4, amazing. Friends is a 1, financial a 3, and faith. Okay, so that's awesome. So which one of those, or maybe you want to tackle all 3 of those ones, your 4 and your 3, of course, work on some things in 2020 to increase your finances, continue to double down on family, but you need to work on the other 3, because if you don't have a well-balanced life, I can tell you that it's going to impact your business. If you don't have a well-balanced life, I can tell you it's going to impact your family. Okay, you need to go out with friends. You need to find whatever it is that you believe in that's greater than you, whether it's God or, that's who I believe in is God. Okay, but you need to find something that's greater than you to believe in at your core. Okay, fitness. Okay, you need to start moving every day, and it doesn't have to be a workout, but figure out what's that trigger that's going to make it so you're going to move every day. For me, I tried 5 gyms in 5 years thinking that was going to solve the problem. In the end, I said, man, I just need to get my personal trainer in here. So we have a personal trainer that comes in the office 5 days a week, and we have a gym in there now, because that was how I moved it from a 1 or a 2 to a 4. Okay, so circle the 1, 2, or 3 that are the biggest struggles for you right now, and I want you to write down right next to it what action you're going to do over this next week or 2 that's going to change that. What's the first domino? If it's fitness, your first action might literally be call 3 personal trainers by Friday at 2 o'clock. Okay, if it's friends, your next action might literally be going to your calendar and scheduling in a friend's breakfast every Thursday at 8 o'clock. That might be your first action. Okay, if it's financial, your first action might be dialing into a training at Carrot or training somewhere else to have a clear vision for where you're going. Faith, a first action might be at our church, join a community group. A community group was the thing that started to change that for me. Okay, so what are those first actions for you? All right, guys, that's a biggie. Now let's do an organizational checkup on the business side. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up right here. This is an organizational checkup that I took from EOS, from Entrepreneur Operating System. It's really, really good. And we'll have a link to that inside of the 1-page strategic plan. Can't talk. We'll have a link to it in the 1-page strategic plan template right here. Okay, so you guys get access to this, where it's going to go through at a high level how you go through this, and this is going to be the next thing that we're going to buzz through really quick. But here's the link to that. Okay, so after this call, don't do it now, but after this call, I want you to print this off, and I want you to go through. It's literally going to take you less than 2 or 3 minutes. I want you to go through and fill this out. You could even do this online. You can see how I'm doing it right here online. Okay, fill it out, and then at the bottom of it, it's going to have you add up your score. Okay, and it's kind of like a school grade. If you're 90% plus, then you're doing awesome. If you're 80% it's a B, 70 something percent C, 60 something percent D. Now I'll be honest with my score. I might be a little bit hard on some stuff because I'm wanting to really adjust and shift some big things for 2020. We were 67%. So there's a lot of things that we can work on. You can still have an amazing, amazing business without it being in the 90s. Okay, I think the big part is what's the gap between where you want to be and where you currently are. Currently, my vision is out here really, really big, and we have a big gap to close. Therefore, it's in the 60s, and so that's going to inform what we need to work on moving forward. So these two exercises that I walked through, the 5 Fs, and now the EOS organizational checkup, those are to inform what you do with your business planning moving forward. Okay, those are to inform what you do with your business planning moving forward. This particular template here, guys, is going to be on the live call page. So if you go to carrot.com/epic/live, okay, the annual strategic plan template on the left side is going to be where you're going to be able to get that. If you're already on the page and you don't see it, okay, refresh that page and it's going to show up right there. Okay. So I want you to fill it out either right now or right after this. That's going to inform what you're going to be doing moving forward. Okay. Number 2 is going through and creating your vision story. Okay. The vision story is going to be really, really important because it's what's critical to knowing exactly where you want to go. And I've talked about this before that in order to have vision, you need to jot down some very, very specific things. In 2010, I wrote down my first life list. And you can find mine on my blog right there, just trevormock.com. And every year I go through there and update it, add new things, cross some things off. I still need to go there and do that. But that's one way of visioning. That's one way to create vision. Hey, these are things I intend to do someday in my life. Okay, another way to create vision is what I call a vision story. And this is something I do every year. And whenever I go through and I'm in a rut or I'm in a funk or I just want to be inspired or I need to inform my planning for the quarter, I pull out my vision story. And this vision story is for me personally. Okay, for me personally, I go out 25 years and I literally take out my notepad and I write down what's my life look like that day, like Thursday, December 26th or whatever, it's December 26th, whatever that is, 25 years out, 2055 or 2045 or whatever that is, 45. What does my life look like? Okay, at that time, I'll be whatever age. Where am I going to be living? What's my house look like? Who am I laying next to when I wake up in the morning? What conversations do I have? What type of work do I do? What does my work look like at that point? What types of things excite me? Who do I work with? What types of tasks do I do? When do I go to work? When do I not go to work? When do I stop? What do I do afterwards? What do I do with friends? Like I literally write down my ideal average day to the detail from me waking up to me going to sleep, what I smell, what I see, what I hear, who I talk to, conversations I'm having, where I am. Okay, I write it in detail, something that excites me. That story should excite the crap out of you. And try not to write it in bullet points. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong is they start to write it in bullet points. And bullet points are hard to be inspired by. Bullet points are hard to be excited by. Okay, they're really, really hard to be excited by, guys. All right, really hard to be excited by. Okay, stories are something that can inspire you. As soon as I do that, then I turn the page and I go, cool, where do I have to be in 10 years now? And I write my 10-year vision story. It's usually a little bit shorter. Okay, but that 10-year vision story, what day in 10 years, so December 26th, 2029, how old am I going to be? And then I'm going to write down that vision story. What's that day look like? All the way from when I wake up, what's the first thing I see? What's the first thing I hear? Who's the first person I talk to? What do I smell? Where do I go next? Okay, what happens at breakfast? Who's at the breakfast table? What conversations do we have? What time is it? What happens next? When do I go to work? What do I do at work? Who do I talk to at work? Okay, get in crazy detail. How do I have lunch? What do I do with my wife? Who am I talking to? Those things, guys, are so critical to be clear on. And that 10-year vision story should lead you into the 25-year. And then I work it back and go, let's do the 5 years now. It's going to be even shorter. Okay, I go, cool, 5 years from now. Okay, so 2024 or whatever that is, 2025. Okay, what does that day, December 26th, look like? Okay, and maybe right now is not the best example because it's the day after Christmas, but picture yourself maybe in January or something like that. What's the ideal average day look like? Okay, same thing. What time do I wake up? Who do I wake up to? What do I talk about? What type of work am I doing? Because the work I'm doing in 5 years is going to be different than the work I'm doing in 10 years. It's going to be different than the work I'm doing in 25 years. The people in my life in 5 years are going to be different than the people in my life in 1 year, 10 years, and 25 years. Okay, in 25 years, my kids are going to be out of the house. Hopefully, right? They're going to be out of the house in 5 years. They're still going to be here. So that story is just going to be a little bit different. And then the 1 year is going to be hyper focused on what does that look like this next year. There's going to be less changes. It's going to be less drastic than the 25 year. Okay. But I want you guys to dream. I want you guys to write that down. This vision story is going to be critical because you need to be building a business that helps you fuel this story. And where I went wrong before, and a lot of entrepreneurs go wrong, y'all, and let me know, guys, if you guys can resonate with this. A lot of you guys go wrong by building a business that doesn't actually match the vision that you originally had. It becomes something other than what you wanted. It becomes something you despise. It becomes something you don't like anymore. And if you're not an entrepreneur and you have a day job, awesome. I want you to write that down. Okay, what is that? What does your job look like in a year? Okay, who you're working for? What type of work are you doing? That is something you then should inform your boss of. Okay, if there's any Carrot team members listening to this, I want to see your 1 year vision. That way I can help you get there. Okay, if I don't have your 1 year vision, I can't help you get there. We're all guessing at that point. Okay, and we're likely going to guess wrong. So that's going to be a huge tool for you. Block out an hour or two sometime over the next week and write the 25, 10, 5 year, and 1 year, and put them on a notepad that you can refer back to often. I put all of mine on these notepads right here. Okay, I put all of mine on these orange notepads, and I carry them around with me. And my vision story that I wrote several years ago is in this notepad right here. I could read it. It's like here. I can be inspired by it. Okay, that's gonna be step one, guys. That's gonna be a huge deal. And the funny thing is, when I originally wrote my first vision story, the house I woke up in literally was on a river, on a body of water, where I would look out my window in my bedroom and see a body of water. Okay, this is my current view out of my back porch. My bedroom window has a view of this amazing river, the North Umpqua River. I pictured having some acreage. I pictured having a spot where my kids and animals and stuff like that could run free and like have fun. This is my front yard, or part of it. Okay, that's like a third of my front yard. Okay, so I want you guys to vision these things. This became reality because I wrote it down and because I believed in the vision. Okay, don't be this person here. Don't be the person chasing after just the money, and you get to the end of the road with a ton of money in your hands, but you're like, man, that was not fulfilling. Be the person who writes down a clear vision that's fulfilling to you, and then build in the income that will require you to have that happen. Okay, a man's success is measured by what his wife and children say about him. Money and accomplishments mean nothing if you let your home fail. Okay. Guys, this notepad, honestly, it's not a Carrot notepad. This notepad is just a orange notepad I picked up. But what I'll do is at the end of the call, rather than giving a water bottle away at the end of the call, and maybe I'll do that too, we have actual Carrot notepads. We'll pick some sort of way to give away a handful of those Carrot notepads, or we could possibly find a way to sell them to you guys, like $10. Okay, but we have literal Carrot notepads that let us know, and then we can find a way to get some of them for you guys. Okay, number 3, guys, eliminating limiting beliefs. I'm not going to spend much time on this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drive you towards the podcast episode for this. Brady, if you can link up the limiting beliefs episode on the podcast, that's going to walk you through all that you guys need to know there. Okay, there's certain thoughts in your mind right now, guys, that are holding you back from going where you want to be. You need to eliminate those. Your mind is your first barrier. You're not going to be able to accomplish a plan until you do that. And I'll give you a first real world example in my own story. Okay. Leading into this year, part of the issues that I had that I was talking about before was around vision. It was around, man, like what is my vision, number one? But when I started to really dig in, the root of me not being clear on my vision, guys, was because I didn't believe in my core that I was the guy who could take Carrot to a greater height. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe in my core that I could take Carrot to the height that I believed that the company could get to. And so when you're in that spot, it's like, man, it's really hard to have a clear vision you're excited about if you don't feel like you're the guy or the gal to do it. Or if you feel like, man, well, I'm in this real estate thing, but I really don't want to be. I'd much rather be in this other business, but I don't think I can be in this other business because of these 100 reasons. Those are likely limiting beliefs holding you back. You should switch industries and do that other thing that's going to be more fulfilling for you, that can help you march towards your better life. Okay. Or maybe you're like, well, I'm brand new in real estate or brand new in this or that. Man, there's just no way I'm going to be able to compete against the big boys. That's a limiting belief. You can. We see every single year customers who come in brand new investors and crush it, and they end up doing hundreds of thousands of dollars from scratch against the big guys and gals. Okay. Those are limiting beliefs. So go listen to that podcast episode, eliminate the limiting beliefs. The short model to do that is this. The first thing is this: pull back. And if you ever find yourself hesitating to do something, pull back and say, why am I not doing this? And then write all those reasons down. Well, I'm not big enough. I'm too small, whatever it is. Okay. And then next, what I want you to do is say, is this belief actually true? Because it's a belief, okay? It's not a fact, it's a belief, okay? Switch it from being facts to beliefs. It's not a fact that by being a brand new agent or an investor that you're going to not be able to compete in a market. It's a belief that you have. It's not a fact, okay? So you need to go, cool, is this belief true? Well, has anyone ever in the world ever been brand new in your industry or your market and done really, really well? The answer is probably yes. Okay, cool. Now we have identified that it is in fact a limiting belief. It's not true. It's not a fact. It's a limiting belief. Okay, so now we need to go, cool, awesome. Let me recognize that is not true. People have done exactly what I'm trying to do. I just need to figure out how to make it work. I'm going to throw out that limiting belief that it's going to be hard, that it's not going to happen. Now I need to adopt a new set of beliefs, which is that vision that we talked about before. Okay, guys? All right, number 4, crafting your critical number. So I'm going to bring up the iPad again, and we're going to do some critical number crafting right here. Okay, so all right. So what I want you guys to do is this. You can do a couple things. You can either pull up this planning document here, and like I said, it's kind of a rough format. But what I like to do is I'll usually start on my iPad and I'll start to draw some stuff out, and then I move things over here once they get a little bit more final. Okay. But with your critical numbers, it's kind of your primary 3 to 6 metrics that you'll track at a really high level. So it's revenue, deals, profits, NPS. If you have a job and you're not an entrepreneur, there's likely some metrics in your job that are important. Or you know what? Maybe you could be doing this planning for you as a family, okay? And you're like, I don't care about the business side of it, but for me as a family, what are some critical numbers for you as a family? Maybe you really need to get your income up as a family to a certain level. That's to get our family income up to X amount. Get our family income up to 50,000. Get our family income up to 100,000. Okay. Critical number for you guys too could be, you know what? We really, for a family, we really want to get X amount in savings. Awesome. Put that down as one of your critical numbers. We want to get $10,000 in savings or $100,000 in savings or whatever it is. Okay. Another critical number that you could have is buy 3 investment properties or whatever it is. What are those main high level things that you guys need to be focusing on? Okay, I'm gonna share through this document here, guys. So this is the planning doc template. This is on the live call page, but I'm sending it through right now to y'all. That's the live doc template. You'll need to take that template, duplicate it, and make it your own. Okay, because you can't edit it; you can only view it. So go up to the top where it says File right here. Okay, click Make a Copy. All right, and then you'll be able to duplicate it from there. Okay. So those are critical numbers. And so here's some examples for you guys. Like I said, if you're a real estate agent, critical numbers may be number of transactions you're going to go for this next year. It may be commissions that you earn this next year. It may be number of listings. It may be a certain profit percentage. It may be number of leads. Like go at the highest level. What are the most important numbers you're going to be going for in your business moving forward? And if you're a family, like if you're not doing this for business, you're doing it for family, same thing. That could be your savings. It could be your family income. It could be amount of vacation days you guys take as a family, whatever's the most important for you to focus on this next year. As an example for Carrot, I'll give you a real world example. Our critical numbers are based around monthly recurring revenue. Okay, that's one of our critical numbers. Another critical number that's important to us is what's called NPS, Net Promoter Score. That's how happy are our customers. That's a really important number that we track at the high level. Another critical number is our profit margin. Okay, we want to make sure to hit certain revenue levels, but we also want to make sure to hit certain profit margin levels while we're doing it so we can have a healthy business. Okay, and another critical number is actually called ENPS. How happy are our employees? That's one of our critical numbers moving into 2020. Okay, these 4, 5, or 6 numbers are the core numbers that every team member needs to be aware of and looking at. All right, so what are yours? All right, so the next thing that I want you guys to do is going back here now. Once we've got those critical numbers, that's it, guys. Like that part of your planning is literally 10, 15 minutes. Okay, if you need to pull away and do some more math, awesome, pull away and do some more math. Okay, look at what you did this last year. This is the way that I like to do it. Is what did you do last year? Okay, and I'll share my iPad really quick, and we'll kind of walk through this the way that I do it. What did you do last year? Okay, so we got the iPad up, flip to the side, and bam. So here's what I like to do for critical numbers. Okay, critical numbers. Let's go black here. All right, so what do we do in 2019? Okay, so 2019. What do we do in 2019? Write down what those critical numbers are. If it's number of deals, right? If it's profit, if it's revenue, if it's, whatever it is, what are those critical numbers here? Okay. Write down what those were for the year. So let's say this one was, 55, and let's say this one here was, 356K. And let's say this one here was whatever. I'm just going to make up numbers. Okay. 500K. Awesome. So now what we want to do for 2020 is write down our new critical numbers based on how we want to grow. And the way that I like to do it is I'll kind of go, hey, is there a reason why we need to grow? Maybe you don't need to grow. Maybe you just want to do 55 again, but you want to have higher profit margins. So you're like, you know what? I really liked that deal volume. We're actually going to shrink it. We're actually going to go to 50 this time because I know the market's going to get harder and but we're going to focus on higher profit margin deals. Okay. So we still want to eke out the same profit. Okay. We're still going to go for 350K because that's good. I like that number. We're not really looking at growing a lot this next year. And then revenue, whatever it is. Let's say revenue is gonna be a little bit lower because we're doing fewer deals. So let's say that revenue is 450K. Okay. All right. So what I just showed here is those could be new critical numbers. Awesome. We're going to go after 50 deals this year. They're going to be a little bit higher profit margin because we're going to do fewer deals, but we're still going to stick to the 350 in profit. Revenue is going to go down a little bit because we're going to do fewer deals. They're going to be higher profit margin deals, but we're going to be at 450 in revenue. Okay, awesome. So those could be your critical numbers. But if you are wanting to grow, here's another way that you could do it. If you are wanting to grow, I would look at it and go, well, what percentage growth do I want to see? And I would look at, well, what percentage did you grow last year to the year before? And for us, it's about 35%. So I look at this and go, cool. If we did this revenue last year and we grew 35% last year, are we okay with that level of growth, or do we want to grow more or less? And then we go, cool. What would 40% growth look like this year? Okay, awesome. It's this number. And then awesome. Yeah. Do those numbers matter? Yes, I believe in those numbers. They're going to help us make a better impact, a better mission, all that stuff. Bam, lock in those critical numbers. Okay. So don't pressure yourself on it too much, guys. The biggest thing is that you're locked into what's important to you. Trevor says, is profit after expenses or actual deal profit? That depends. I know for me, the profit that I always put down as critical numbers is always either profit percentage. Hey, it's like after expenses, everything. After all expenses, here's the profit that I want to see in my business. Or I might put a profit number. Okay, but for me right now, it's a profit percentage. So we'll put a revenue number and we'll say whatever it is. Let's say $10 million, a revenue number, a revenue critical number. We go with a X% profit margin. Okay, so that's the way that we do it. And that's after all expenses. And that's why I would suggest, because you can't spend gross profit. You can spend net profit, but you can't spend gross profit. Okay. You should be able to copy that puppy. If someone on my team can check out that document and make sure it's copyable, that'd be sweet. If not, guys, we'll let you know. Okay, cool. So nail those critical numbers. You guys have any questions around the critical numbers? Yeah. So Trevor, that would be after marketing expense for sure. So if it costs you $5,000 to do the marketing and you paid commission of $1,500 from someone in your team and it's a $25,000 deal, I would take the $5,000 plus the $1,500, those are your expenses. Okay, so $6,500. Subtract that from $25K, and then that's whatever that is. That's $19,000. Okay, so that's your net profit. That's what I would put, because you can spend net profit. You can't spend gross profit. Okay, net profit's what gets you freedom. Focusing on gross profit, guys, is what. All right. Okay, so objectives are something that we started adopting this year at Carrot, because we were doing some planning before, and it became a little bit more difficult. And objectives are essentially a really high level vision for where you're wanting to go. Like these few things, we want to focus on just a few big things at a high level that we want to achieve this year. What are those big themes? Okay, and then we're going to wrap them in something what I call key results, objectives and key results, or OKRs. Okay. And I'll give you guys some examples of what good OKRs might look like, okay, and why we're using them. So one of the reasons of setting objectives at a high level is very important is because so many people, myself included, are kind of opportunity seekers. You see shiny objects everywhere. And so you get into 2020 and you go, man, there's so many opportunities. There's this thing I could do, and there's this, and there's this, and there's 100 different things that I could do and go tackle, right? And we start to look like this. We have a certain amount of energy. We have a certain amount of resources that we can put out there. And we can only impact certain things based on the energy and resources we put into it. And you end up looking like this. You start that and you start this. Here's an opportunity. There's an opportunity. I need to clean that up. I need to do this. I need to do this. Oh my gosh, there's so many things we could be doing. But when you look at it this way, what happens is we start a lot of things and then we end up not finishing those things. We start a lot of things, we end up not finishing those things. We do a lot of activities and we feel like we were very busy, but we didn't materially push forward any of the big results we were looking to push forward. Okay. We felt like, man, my energy was drained this week or this month or this quarter. We did a lot of stuff, but man, it just felt like I could have been on vacation for this month and had the same result. And it's because you're focusing on too many things. But when you're able to focus your energy on fewer things, on one thing, in this example, you can do a lot more and you can go deeper. And so the one kind of cool thing, guys, all of these little lines add up to the same length as this. All of these little projects, these opportunities you tackled, you didn't finish any of them. None of them impacted you or your life materially. But what if you took one of them, the most important one, and you focus all of your energy into that one? What if you focus all of your energy into that one most important one each quarter or each year? Or maybe for the full year, it's like, you know what? I'm going to pick three. I'm going to pick three main objectives that we want to go out there and tackle. And those are the three things we're going to focus on. We're going to surround everything around those three things. Okay. And LV Hamilton says, yeah, I get paralyzed trying to decide what to do. Okay. I'm a very shiny object, but highly motivated. Yes, guys, that's a lot of us entrepreneurs. That's natural. So what I want you guys to do is focus on what are the best opportunities? What are the best things you need to focus on? What are the things that are going to move the needle towards your vision the most? And you guys are seeing how this all fits together now, right? You cannot make effective objectives without a vision. Okay. You cannot make effective objectives without a clear vision written down. Okay. Because you're just going to make objectives based on whatever's in the moment. It's like whatever's in front of me sounds exciting. Cool. I'm going to go do that. But if you have a clear vision that excites you, your objectives now get built to drive you towards that. Okay. Your 1 year objectives should be built to drive you towards your 5-year vision story. Okay. Your 1 year business goals should drive you towards your 5-year business goals. Okay. If you have those written down at a high level. Okay. So pick a few things, not a lot of things. Albert Einstein says we're most productive when we focus on a very small number of things, which we can devote a large amount of attention. And that's what I want to see you guys do with your objectives. Okay. So I'm going to pull up my iPad right now. And I'm going to show you guys kind of some ways that you can do it. And I'll show you an example here. Let's see right here. Okay. So I've got a test example of an objective here. So guys, there's all kinds of stuff online about OKRs, objectives and key results. And also what we'll do, guys, is Brady, if you could link up my podcast on OKRs right here in this planning doc, actually, that would be amazing. Link it up right here and also link it up into the thing. That way people can go through that because that podcast on OKRs is really detailed. I had someone message me the other day, said, man, your episode on objectives and key results was fire. It helped me get clarity on my year. That one episode alone is going to help you get it. But here's an example. An objective should be a really high level thing you're going after. It should be inspiring. Okay. And then key results are specific measurable things that will help you achieve that objective. So here's an example. Okay. I have an objective to improve our profits while doing fewer deals this year. Okay. You're like, man, you know what? I want to do less deals. I want to scale my team back or whatever, but I want to have the same profits or more. Okay. Awesome. That's an objective. So a key result would be, so what are the things that I would have to do that would ensure that I'm successful with that? Those are the important words. What are the things that I would have to do or the measures that would show that I'm marching towards success in that? So improve our profits while doing fewer deals per year. The first thing I would do is like, cool, well, how many deals does that mean? Okay. The first key result is probably that. Close at least 50 transactions in the year. Awesome. Cool. That's a really good key result. It's very specific. It's clear. With key results, guys, it should be insanely clear. It should be black and white. There should be no leeway for negotiation on whether they were hit or not, okay? It shouldn't be like, oh, well, I think I kind of hit that. I did part of it. Let me mark it as successful. It should be, yes, it was hit or no, it was not hit. Yes, it was done or no, it was not done, okay? So this is very clear. If you hit 40, it's very clear you didn't hit 50, okay? So you didn't get 100% of the way there, but you got 80% of the way there, which is really, really good. Okay, don't beat yourself over the head with that. That's really good. Another key result could be average profit per deal of 15K or more. Awesome. Now that's how you're going to start to plan things forward in Q1, Q2. How are you going to change your business model to increase that profit? So that's where you're going to start to inform your first quarter planning. Okay, retain at least 500K in cash reserves by year end. Awesome. I'm going to like solidify this. And then another key result, increase lead to close ratio by 10%. We're saying, you know what? One way that we're going to squeeze more profits out of this is actually by close more deals with the current leads we're getting. Okay. And this is just an example. These may or may not be the best examples, but this gives you a lot of clarity. Hey, we're going to improve our profits while doing fewer deals. Here's how many deals. Here's the profits we're going after. Here's another benefit we want to get. We want to do this so we can get more reserves and cap in there so we can do whatever. And then we want to increase our close ratio. Now, you're not putting tasks in here. Okay, don't put tasks. Don't put, hey, we're going to adjust our script. We're going to adjust our call script and our thing on the we're going to adjust our call script and our script when we meet with sellers. Okay, that's not what you want to put here. Okay, this is high level. How do you know when you're seeing success with it? Well, we're going to increase our lead to close ratio with 10%. Okay, so I would suggest on somewhere between 2 to 3 objectives for your whole year. Okay, then each objective should have somewhere between 3 and 5 key results. And guys, we can link up some good OKR training on this, because what's going to happen is you're going to stumble through it the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. We've been doing this for 3 quarters now, and I think we're just now starting to get decent at it. Okay, it usually takes 4 to 5 iterations to really learn how to do good, effective key results with your objectives. Okay, but this is kind of the gist of it. So going back to the presentation here, I want you guys to nail your top 3 to 5 objectives, and you can do that right now. Write on a piece of paper what kind of comes out of your mind right now. What are the things that are important that you feel that you should focus on this next year? Hey, what are the outcomes you're looking to have? Okay, if you're looking to increase your transactions, awesome. That might be an amazing objective. Dramatically grow our transactions. If you're wanting to build a team and you're not sure how to, you could say, better delegate my time. That might literally be a great objective for you. Better delegate my time. Awesome. What are key results for that? Well, the first one is, how do you measure when you have delegated more time? Like, how do you know when you've been successful in doing that? Well, it could be that you have regained an extra 10 hours per week. So it might be regain an extra 10 hours per week of my time. Okay, cool. So now you have something to work towards, and now you have something to measure. And then it could be something to the effect of, well, I'm not sure what it is that I need to do, but I'm going to write down a key result that measures whether I'm moving forward with that. So maybe you look at it and go, you know what? The one big thing I've got to do in order to regain back the time is I got to know what I need to eliminate. So you might put in there, do energy audit, or you might say publish energy audit results by January 7th. So take the energy audit, which I'll show you here in a bit, and publish those results in a spot where you can see them. Okay, that's a key result. Hey, if I do this thing, it will help me get closer to that thing up there. Okay. You guys have any questions on that? And like I said, you guys should not pressure yourselves into becoming OKR pros right now. Just get in the pattern of thinking of big objectives and then key results that help feed you toward that. Okay. Awesome. Yep. Yeah, the book, The One Thing. Guys, really cool thing. The book, The One Thing. I interviewed Jay Papasan, the co-author of One Thing, and we are, it's going to be published in January, which is awesome. Right here, Cash Out House says, Justin, when you don't have people in your circle that have successfully achieved this, it makes it difficult to plan and execute. 100%, man. So you definitely need to get around people, Justin, that have done it. Okay. Yep. Gotcha. Cool. Let me share my screen again, guys. So we're going to wrap this up with this last little part and we'll answer some questions. Okay. So now we've diagnosed where we currently are personally and professionally. Okay. Personally with the 5 F's and with the questions we asked earlier on who are you currently now and who do you want to become? Okay. We've done it professionally with this document here. It's going to take you less than 3 minutes. This is going to inform you on some of the things that will be important for you to do. Okay. You have written your vision story, or you're going to plan time for writing your vision story anyway, and you're going to get clear on it. And same thing, don't pressure yourself there, guys. Just create the best version of your vision story that you can right now, and then edit it in January and make it better the next month, make it better the next month. Okay. And then, do the same thing on your business. What's your vision for your business? Okay. And this stuff's going to take work. It's hard work. Okay. Sometimes you're not going to be clear what it is. Sometimes you're going to be like, man, I feel like giving up because I'm not sure where I want to take this. Okay. The best thing that you can do is by writing something down and starting to talk to people, starting to get around other people in a mastermind or local get together and challenge them and have them challenge you and have them ask you good questions. You will eventually get clearer and clearer on your vision. It took me about 5 months this year, guys, to get to a point where I was not clear on my vision to where I was. Is because I'd have a couple mindset shifts. I had to eliminate some limiting beliefs, which is the next step. And then I was clear on my vision. Then I could believe that I could actually achieve that thing. Okay, then once I'm clear on myself, like, man, let's set some goals for this next year. What are those critical numbers at a high level? It's these 3 things for my business or for my family or whatever you want to do. And then once you have those 3 things set and you have your vision, you're like, cool, now what do I do this year to march towards that? What do I do this year to hit those critical numbers? What do I do this year to march towards that vision story? Okay. And like I said, this document here will likely feed into some of the objectives or some of the things you know you need to do. If you know that you're like, man, I just really am not sure what my vision is, that might literally be one of your objectives. It might be craft a clear and compelling vision. That might be one of your biggest objectives for the year, guys. Okay. And then one of your key results is publish the vision and share it with 10 of my closest friends by X date. Okay. That's a key result. Publish it, share it with 10 friends and by this date. That's a really good key result. Okay. Whatever it is. All right. Okay, guys, now we're going to preload the year for success. Okay. So I'm going to pull up my iPad. I'm going to pull up my iPad here, and we're not going to use these this year. Those will still be available for you guys, but we're not going to use those things. We're going to use this right here. Okay. So with the annual planning waterfall that we're going through right now, we talked mission, we talked vision. We did that a little bit ago. We nailed our critical numbers and we're on our goals, or at least you have the path to do that. Now we need to actually go, cool. Like, how do I now actually put this to play in my life? How do I actually put this to play in my business? Okay. So I'd like to challenge you guys to go through over the next several weeks, if you haven't, this document as good as you can. This will help give you a clear picture of your business in 2020. And once again, if you're struggling on any parts of this, don't pressure yourself on it. Just write whatever you have in there, and then go talk with a friend, go talk to the business partner, go talk with someone, come on a coaching call, hit me up and say, hey, I'd love for you to review this. I'll do that, guys. Let me know. Okay. What's your core focus of your business? Like, what do you actually do? If you're a real estate agent, your core focus would be, hey, I am the top real estate agent on river homes and luxury homes in the Duluth, Georgia area. Okay, cool. That's a very clear core focus. Make it insanely clear. For Carrot, our core focus is helping agents and investors build authority online through our content marketing tools and Google search. That's our core focus, is selling our software that helps you do that. Okay, next, what are your core values? What do you believe in, guys? Okay, here's ours. I listed ours in there to help you. I would actually challenge you to create less than ours. Make it like 4 or 5 or 6. We're going to be trimming ours down to 5 or 6 in January at our next company retreat. Okay. After that, what's that vision? That's the vision we talked about earlier. Where does that vision go when you do it? Put it in here, because then you can refer back to this document all throughout the year. Okay. 10-year target, honestly, was tough for me. Okay, this might be tough for many of you guys too. Is what's the overriding goal that you're all driving towards? What's the finish line? You know, what does the business look like in 10 years? Can you picture yourself in 10 years doing that? I'm going to kind of cast some vision with and for Brian Rockwell here. Brian Rockwell, been a customer for a few years, been to Carrot Camp twice, and he crushed it with wholesaling the first 2 years, but he always wanted to get into multifamily. And so his 10-year target was to build a big portfolio of multifamily properties of X size that could then fuel his family and his impact. So that might be your 10-year target. It might not be anything to do with what you're currently doing. Okay, my 10-year target is to build my wholesaling business, flipping business to the point to where I have 100 doors or 50 doors or 5 rental properties that bring in this amount of income. Okay, that's a really good 10-year target. Okay, or it could be, if you're a real estate agent, my 10-year target is to have a brokerage of 50 agents that are bringing in a transaction volume of $50 million a year, helping our local area of blah, 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 Atlanta. Awesome. That's a great 10-year target. Okay. Our 10-year target here at Carrot, it's getting clearer. I haven't nailed it yet, but our 10-year target here at Carrot is to be a company that's doing over $25 million a year, making a massive impact here in Roseburg, Oregon with over 50 employees, and helping our clients generate over 1 million leads a year. Okay. That's our 10-year target there. Okay. What's your 10-year target? Okay. Now next, what's the marketing strategy that's going to help you get there? Okay, who is your ideal market? A lot of agents and investors struggle with this, guys. Okay, you struggle to niche down. So what's the ideal target market? Okay, you might take any transaction, but what's the ideal one? What's the ideal one? Well, it's a motivated house seller who inherited a house, or it has some sort of situation where they're in a distress, and I can help them get out of their situation. And here's the primary three ways I can do that. Okay. If you're an agent, it could be, we're primarily focused on luxury homes for music artists in the LA area. Okay, that's our primary target. What's your primary target? Okay, next, what's the 3 uniques that we're selling? This is a big deal, guys. Okay, if you're trying to crack through, and I can do a whole workshop on this, and I have done a whole workshop on this, is how do you stand out in your market? You need to have something that makes you unique in your market. If you're brand new, hey, it doesn't matter. Like, figure this out. Like, just get going. If you don't have an answer for any of these, just leave them blank for now and fill them out as you go. Okay. Product strategy. Most of you guys can probably just eliminate this one, but it's essentially like, what is your offering? Hey, we're offering cash home buyer services where we can buy your house in 7 days or less. And we offer this. If you're a real estate agent, hey, our offering is is to with our proprietary marketing system to either buy or list or to sell your house on the market, or we'll buy it, at the price we agree. That's a product strategy. Okay. Now, what's your 3-year vision? And I like to draw something out like this. This is a real 3-year vision I wrote last year. Okay, I write 2019, 2020, 21. Here's the main 3 overarching themes that we're likely going to be wanting to do. And these have adjusted. Like the one for 2020 has adjusted. It's adjusted a good bit. Okay. But you have to be decently clear. Here's where we want to go, and here's where we want to go there. And here's kind of our 3-year vision. Here's what our team might look like. Here's how much money we want to give in charity to our local causes. Okay. Like, be that clear with that stuff. Okay. And then your 1-year plan is just kind of like, hey, what do you plan on doing this year? If you're like, you know what, I wanted to do the 55 transactions. That was one of my critical numbers. How do I plan on getting there? Well, I'm going to ramp up my online marketing and really focus on Cara organic and Facebook ads. I'm going to hire 2 people on my team to do this. And we're going to really niche down and focus in on this in a big way. Okay. Like, that could be your plan. It could be as detailed as you want. And then the last thing here, guys, is your accountability chart or your org chart. Okay. So if your org chart is you, sweet. Like, that's just you. Like, you're doing all the roles. And that's one of the biggest things I would encourage you this next year, is to make it so you're not the only person on your org chart, even if it's a virtual assistant. Okay. Make it so you're not having to do everything. If you're a real estate agent and you're the only one on your org chart, and you're doing all the transaction stuff, you're doing all the paperwork, you're doing all that, that's the first thing I would do, is expand your org chart in 2020 so you can get more of your time back. Have an assistant or someone, pay them on commission, pay them on whatever, to where you're not the only one in your org chart. Okay. And then quarterly rocks. Now, after you guys do that stuff, now we're going to dive into the quarterly. Okay. And I know this is a lot, guys. Hey guys. Okay. Yeah. Let me refresh this screen. All right, guys, we're almost done. We're almost wrapped. And I know this is a lot I'm throwing at y'all. I know it's a lot. Okay. But here's the deal. If you guys want to have an amazing 2020, you've got to get clear on things. And also, I don't want to press you guys into thinking you've got to go through and do all of this over the next couple of weeks. You've got to have it perfect. Guys, you wouldn't believe how many imperfect plans that I've had over the years that were crappy. When I looked at them at the end of the year, I'm like, man, that was bad. But it was something. It got me started. It got me going on stuff, right? So that's the big stuff there, guys. Okay. So these are the things I was walking through a little bit ago. Just do your best filling them out. I've even struggled with this personally. Okay. I've even struggled with it. You've got to pull out, let's say, a half a day or a day with no distractions. Turn on the deep focus channel and fill out whatever you can. Okay. Just fill out whatever you can. All right, guys. Now, this is the last thing I'm going to share with you right here. And this is the other template that you're going to get. And then I'm going to bring it up on the iPad and show you how I do it. So we've taken this template, and just do what's useful to you. Don't use what's not useful to you. Okay. So we basically said, hey, because I like writing stuff out, guys, first, that's the way my brain works. We've taken and made a little template where we go, cool, let's write down our objectives. There should actually be way fewer than 4. Ideally, it should be like 2, 3 when you're starting out. What are those key results? So you can actually house these inside of here or inside of the other document, whatever works for you. We just have this as another resource for you. Okay. And then next is something called the annual strategic plan. And this is just your chance to kind of document and jot down some things. So, what's your primary critical number? If you're wanting to get to 100 transactions and this year you did 70, you might say, hey, in the first quarter, we know we want to do 100 throughout the whole year. We know most of our transactions will be in Q2, Q3. And so how many transactions will I need to do in the first quarter? Like, what should my goal for the first quarter be? Let's say it's only 15, because we know the first quarter is going to be a little bit lighter or whatever, right? So I would write 15 deals or 15 transactions, okay? And then maybe the second quarter, maybe it's 30. And then the third quarter, maybe it's like 35. And then the fourth quarter is whatever. So now you have that critical number that you took up top, the 100 deals, okay? And then you went, cool, let me break it down on the quarterly basis. Now I can plan here. Now I can plan, right? Now I can say, cool, I just need to do 15 deals this quarter. So what do I need to do to get there? And then next, I write down hires. Are there any hires or any additions that we need to make? Okay, are there people I need to add to the team? Should we add any outsourcers? Things like that. Okay. And then budget's one I wouldn't worry about that too much. It's if you're going to get more advanced with your stuff, that's going to be really, really good. Okay. And then as you're going, the same thing. This is more. This isn't something that you're going to like have to stick to 100% of the way there. Just use it as a resource. It's going to adjust and change throughout the year. This should be flexible. Okay. So right here, go cool. At a really high level, if I know that these things are my objectives, you know, if I know that these 3 things are my objectives, right? And I know that these are the critical numbers I need to go after and whatever. And I need to get this one hire. I for sure need to hire this person this quarter. What are the 2, 3, 4 most important things that you do that quarter? Okay. Well, hire a product manager. Cool. I need to get the hire in there. And then maybe this one is launch my new marketing process for blah. And then maybe this one in here is, you know what? I've got so many processes that I'm doing myself. I can't pull out of them until I document them. So document my top 3 time-sucking processes and outsource them. So really high level, go cool. I kind of have an idea what I need to do the first quarter. What about the second quarter? Well, I know the second quarter I do every year. I do this big party. I do a spring party for all of my real estate, you know, agent clients. Or on the investment side, I know every year my big direct mail campaign crushes it in the spring. Awesome. Put that down here. If I know that I need to get 35 deals this quarter and second quarter, what are some of the most important things I need to do to get there? Are there any hires or any big activities? Yes. Launch my big annual direct mail campaign. Okay. Perform whatever party to our clients. Right here, hire another deal transaction coordinator or whatever it is. Like, what are those important things? And it's going to be pretty natural that as you get to the back part of the year, it's going to be more of a guess. Honestly, it's going to be more of a guess. Okay. So just like do your best kind of plotting it out. And now you've got one sheet, guys. You've got one sheet that is your annual strategic plan. You've got your main critical number 1, your main critical number 2, your main critical number 3. Okay, yours might be deal transaction. Yours might be, you know, profits and then revenue numbers or whatever it is. Okay, and then write down your primary 2, 3 objectives. Okay, theme year. Hey, my year this year is going to be blah. It's going to be owning the market with authority. It's going to be, my theme this year is diversifying my income sources. My theme this year is doubling down on what we're great at. My theme this year is going national. My theme this year is going local. Like whatever your theme is, write down a theme that you can surround around, including if it's just you. And then, like I said, jot down the highest level stuff here. Okay, then the last thing, guys, that I'm going to share with this is every quarter, what we'll do on our planning is we block out about 4 hours per quarter. Okay, so 4 hours per quarter, about 2 weeks before the quarter starts, we have a half a day where it's just quarterly planning. And even if it's just you, just one person, guys, block out at least 2 to 3 hours every quarter. Okay, so this is one of the things I want you to do before you leave for the day is I want you to preload your calendar. Okay, preload your calendar. Go to calendar, preload your darn calendar. Okay, and preload your darn calendar with those dates right now. Okay, pull up your darn calendar, y'all. Preload those puppies. So preload your January planning or your February planning time, preload your March planning time, preload your April planning time, preload your second quarter planning time. Okay, so as I go in here to January, the main things you're wanting to preload are monthly planning and quarterly planning. Okay, monthly planning and quarterly planning. Okay, monthly planning, quarterly planning, monthly planning, quarterly planning. Okay, so we do monthly planning about a week or 2 before the month starts, and that's a couple hours, maybe a half a day, depending on what you want to do. Okay, so I'll go cool. Right here, I'm just going to go. Our monthly planning is always going to be here. Just go into your calendar, pull that puppy up. Okay, so monthly planning call, and guys, I will give you our monthly planning call agenda. Okay, I'll share it, and you guys can screenshot it. Okay, and so make this one. Invite whoever guests need to be there. Okay, and then you'll add a time, and whatever the time is, let's make that puppy recurring. Okay, so every month, whatever it is, like it does repeat, and it's monthly on the 4th Wednesday. Okay, so bam, save that puppy, and you're always going to want to put an agenda in. This is critical, guys, because this is where a lot of people get thrown off in their year, is they have a really good plan going into January, but then they forget to schedule in their stuff for planning on the monthly and quarterly. Then you fall off track. Okay, so I'm just going to go in here, and you guys can screenshot this. Yep, for sure, Roger. There's a replay. Pop in here, man. That's why it's called the Epic Planning Call. It's big, and I'm almost done here for sure. So, guys, you need to make sure you are preloading your year right now. Like this week, preload the stuff. Otherwise, you'll probably forget to do this planning. Then you'll wonder 6 months down the road, like, why is it that I'm falling down? So, screenshot this right now, guys. Screenshot this. Okay. So you're going to want the monthly sync. Okay, we'll put this in your planning document over here. You're gonna want the quarterly. Okay, and all that I would do is I'd literally take this right here. Okay, the purpose of this meeting, the agenda of the meeting, and the output, I would literally take this, okay, and I would put it right in my calendar right here. I'd go copy and paste right there. So it's preceded. It's in there for me every single quarter, every single month, whatever it is. It's ready for me, so I can just show up to this call with my team or with myself and have an agenda already there. I don't have to worry about it. Preload your year. Okay. Do the same thing with your quarterly planning. Okay. Do another one for quarterly. That one should be a couple weeks before the quarter starts. Okay. Take this agenda from the quarterly. All right, guys. Take the purpose, agenda, output. Bam. Take those things. And then copy and paste that right into that calendar invite. So now you've got one for each month of the year and one for each quarter. That sound good, guys? We'll put it in that one-page planning document, okay? We'll put it in there. All right? And I know I've thrown a gazillion things at you guys, okay? The last piece of all this is we did our annual strategic plan. We did our quarterly focuser. Now the big question is, how do we stay on task every week and every month? Because I don't know about you guys, but I can create the best plan in the world, but I will fall off on the monthly. I will get to the end of the month and go, man, I didn't focus on the things I should have. I will get to the end of the week and go, man, I just did a bunch of busy work, but I feel like I moved it forward. And this is the missing piece. I've told a lot of people about this, and we've given it away free to thousands of people. It's the routine and goal tracker template. Okay, it's the routine and goal tracker template. And where you guys can find that is carrot.com/habits. Okay, carrot.com/habits, guys. Carrot.com/habits. You can get that for free. You don't even have to opt in or anything. You're going to land here, and you're going to get the daily tracker worksheet. Okay, it's a spreadsheet. You just copy that over, make it your own, and put in the habits you're wanting to form, like these things that came from that session earlier. What are the things that you don't like about who you currently are becoming? What do you need to become? Those are the things you want to put in here. Well, the person I want to become would meditate. The person I want to become would wake up at this time. The person I want to become would read. The person I want to become would drink a lot of water. The person I want to become would do these things. They love on their spouses, right? So write down those routines that you want to start to adopt. And this is a great tool. I kind of fall in and out of this, being honest, where I'll jam on this pretty hard for a month or two, and I'll do my reds and greens every day. And then I'll forget to do it for a month. And so this is just empty. If you don't use this, guys, this right here, I could not give up. Okay. This stuff here, I could not give up. This here, I could still crush it without that. I'd probably fail on some of my habits I'm wanting to do, but this I could not give up. Okay. So as you're going into January, as you're going into February, you pull this puppy up on a Sunday. Okay. And there's a video that walks you through how to use that on that page, /habits. You're going to go, cool. I know that this is my quarterly plan, right? I know that this is my quarterly plan because I said that this is my quarterly plan in my quarterly focuser document. My quarterly focuser document says that these are the things that are important for me to focus on this quarter. Here's what I'm going to do in July, and here's what I'm going to do in August, and here's what I'm going to do in September. Here's my main goals and targets. That's what I said was important, right? But once you get into the month, this is where you go, cool. Leading into January, these are the 5 most important things I need to nail. Okay? I need to know if I don't nail anything else, these are the 5 most important things. Okay? And then every week on Sunday night or Monday morning, you pull this puppy up. And I have it on my cell phone. It's on my cell phone in the Google Sheets spreadsheet app right here. It's always the first one up there. And so I can use it on my cell phone or here. And I go, cool, it's Monday, it's Sunday, whatever it is. I look at my goals up here for the month. I go, awesome, what do I need to do this week? Well, cool. I know I need to get this going, so I'm going to put that in my thing for this week. I know I need to get this going too. I need to put that in. But also I know I have some other things that are not on that monthly list that are just part of my work. I need to put that in. Okay. And then on the daily, guys, the first thing in the morning before you start any work, pull this puppy up again. Cool. Awesome. I know this is what I need to go after for the month that leads into my quarter. Cool. This is what I said I need to do this week. Awesome. All I have to do now is just kind of like, what do I need to do today? I just need to do these 4 things. Sweet. I put them in there. Okay. Guys, this right here is what holds me accountable. My executive assistant has access to this, so she can help me accountable. My operations guy has access to this. If you're just a one-person shop, share it with your spouse. Share it with somebody else. Share it with an accountability partner to where like, hey, guys, this is what I'm committing to. And I'd be pumped if I could just spend 10 minutes a week with you, just kind of running through what's important to me. I'd love to do that for you too. Okay. Guys, this is going to be game changing. If you don't have a process to get clear on the weekly and daily on what your priorities are, you will not hit your goals. Okay. So let's wrap up the call right now, guys. Is this. Start with that vision. Keep going. Okay. Once you're clear on where you're going, then you can go, awesome. What are those critical numbers? What are the goals I want to go after this year? Okay. Once you nail the goals, you say, hey, what's the most important things that I do this year to march towards those goals with your objectives? Okay. And then if you think it's a good resource and tool for you, put them on the annual strategic plan document. Okay, just put them on there. Okay, if you don't think that's a good tool, cool, don't use it. Okay, number 4, your quarterly focuser. Bam, I got my annual plan done. Awesome, it's heading into the first quarter. I got Jan, Feb, March. Beautiful. Let's pull up that quarterly focuser. Okay, or this document here. Let's pull up the quarterly focuser or this document here. I'm giving you guys two different resources so you can use what works best for you. Okay, so here's your Q1, Q2 planning. Let's update this a little bit. That should be Q1. Okay, so you can use this or you can use that document that I had before. You pick whatever one works better for you. Okay, you want to use this? Cool, awesome. Put in what are those main blocks? What are the big rocks that I've got to do this quarter? It's this, it's this, and it's this. Okay, do I need to hire any people? Yes, hire a VA to do these things or whatever it is. Okay. And then what are some of the ideas that you're likely going to be executing during that quarter? Well, this, and this. Okay, guys, that's as simple as your quarterly planning can be if you want to. Okay, so use this document and or the other one. All right, guys. And then last is the way that you stay on the daily is you have to have something that you look at every week, every month, and every day as a quick 5-minute or less check every day to go, hey, what's the most important that I spend time on today? And I can tell you this, guys, when you do that, you will get freedom. You will get flexibility, okay? You'll grow those finances because you're working on the most important things, okay? You'll be able to make a greater impact because you're more intentional in your time instead of just doing a bunch of stuff that's busy work, okay? When you do that, you will be in charge of your destiny. All right, guys? Except preload that year. I'll wrap this up here, and I'm going to answer a bunch of questions, guys. So let's do this. I'm going to give away a water bottle right now, and I'm going to give away a notepad or two to some people. And here's what I'm going to do, okay? I want everyone to go and follow those instructions I gave earlier. Let me pop out of this slide presentation and show the slides. The last slide here is I want you guys to follow these steps. And everyone who does this will be entered into this contest to win. Right here. Everyone's going to be entered in the contest to win one of these things. You're going to either win the Pumpkin Plan book. You're going to give 5 of those away. I'm going to give 1 water bottle away. And I'm going to give either 3 or 5 carrot notepads away. Okay, so the first thing you got to do, guys, is go follow me on Instagram, trevor.mock. Go follow me on Instagram right now. You have to be following me to be eligible here. Number 2, take a picture of one of the slides that you really resonated with. You can either go find the slide deck our team uploaded onto the live page or a screenshot that you took throughout, and then upload that to Facebook or Instagram with the hashtag CarrotEpic2020, CarrotEpic2020, and I will choose the winner of that. It'll be later today, and we'll celebrate the heck out of that on social media. I'll announce it on my Instagram. Okay, so in order to know who those winners are, follow me on Instagram. We'll be announcing in the stories section of Instagram either later today or tomorrow, and we'll get that out to you guys next week. Okay, I have time for a few questions, guys. There were hundreds of people on this call today. Let's go dive in and answer some questions. Okay. Awesome. What's up, Jake? Jake says, awesome, Trevor. Thank you for all the Jake is a follower on Instagram. I see you on there all the time, man. What's up, Doug? Doug says, great call, Trevor. Rebecca, where's the slide deck? You should be able to go to the Epic Call play page, Epic Live, and then yes, refresh that page. So if you've been on this call the whole time, my team updated it after the call started. So refresh that page, and then it will show up there. And then you're gonna have to click play on this video again. Okay. Let's see, guys. Any questions? Cash Out LLC says, "I need this, bro, dude." Are you talking about the habit goal tracker, guys? Even when I don't do the reds and greens, which, like I said, I have been inconsistent. I want to get back in there. I need to future map to that person I want to be, right, to be consistent. But I'm still decently inconsistent with my reds and greens. But I've been really consistent with my monthly, weekly, and daily on there. Like I said, the key is it's got to be anywhere that you are. So I have it on desktop and I have it here, and share that with someone who can help you be accountable. Okay. All right. Cool. Sweet. Let's see. What was the Instagram site? My Instagram is Trevor. Actually, it's Instagram.com. Well, guys, it sounds like there might be a problem with our slide downloads. We'll make sure we get it figured out. My team will take those slides, turn them into a PDF. So if my team's listening to this, make sure you guys took the slides and print them out as a PDF rather than sharing the link to the slide document. Print it out as a PDF. And then upload that PDF to our servers, guys, and put those slides on the page if you can. Okay. The one-page strategic plan, let me go check that out real quick. So you guys should be able to. Let me check this out. So go here. This is me being a software company owner that's not crazy techie, apparently. So let's go in here to advanced. Anyone who has the link can view it. Let's see. Can edit, can comment. I don't want it to be edited. Comment maybe? I don't think that's a good idea. Let's see. That should work. Well, guys, within the next 30 minutes, we'll figure that part of it out, okay? We'll make sure to figure that part of it out. At the very least, you could take this. You could take your cursor and just like copy it all, or take the edit thing and click select all and copy that and paste it on its own document. If you're not able to do this, go to File and make a copy. Like I said, we'll make it so you can do that, okay, within the next 30 or 40 minutes. But guys, appreciate the heck out of you guys. Hang tight on that, working through some of the tech glitches. But guys, let me know. Let me know through the questions panel right now. Did you guys get value out of this call? Did you guys get value out of this call? What was your biggest takeaway? What's up, Michael? Michael says, thanks from Tom Caffrell's team. Michael, tell Tom I said, hey, man, for sure. Thank you. Awesome. Let's see. Let's see some more questions here. We'll get the slides downloaded. What's up, Karen? Thank you. This is so awesome. Really going to help me in 2020. Kimberly, can you make sure it's available to copy right now? It's not. Thank you for the great message. Yes, Kimberly, we will make sure it's available to copy. For some reason, we can't right now, but we will make that happen. Okay. Kind of. What's up, Keith? Was amazing. I'm more of a doer than a planner, like many others in this call. I needed this, dude. The interesting thing is, I am too, Keith. Like, I'm a guy who's big time on a high, quick start, low follow through. So here's the deal: is if you want freedom from your business, you have to do this. Okay. If you want to be the person who continually is driving your business by yourself, then continue doing the things the way that we've always done it. Continue being a task-oriented person. Continue flying by the seat of your pants on a monthly or weekly basis, saying, "Hey, what do I need to do now?" And what will likely happen is what's happened to me is you end up building a business that was not the way you intended it. You end up building a business that wasn't mapping towards your vision. It wasn't mapping towards your purpose. It actually traps you because you are spending more time in your business, not less. And creating a plan like this actually makes it so you can spend less time in your business and actually march towards the right things and be less busy. Because when you have a plan like this, your team can see it. And that's the whole aim, is you share this with your team. Okay, if you're a real estate agent and you don't have a team, it's just you share this with your broker. Like, your broker would absolutely love seeing this. Share this with your broker. Get them aligned. Have them give feedback on it. Okay, if you're a real estate agent and you have a team, share this with your whole team. Let them make comments on it. Okay, our team goes in and makes comments where they resonate with certain things, where they don't. Collaborate with them on it. Okay, if you're a real estate investor and it's just you, share this thing with your friend group. Share it with your mastermind. Share it with people who can help you be accountable. Okay, awesome. Sweet. Kathy says, awesome. Kathy says, anyone who has not done the 30-day challenge program yet, sign up for the accountability. Guys, that's a great point, Kathy. So let me share my screen really quick, guys. I'll give you guys a couple last resources. And then if you guys want to do the contest once again, go follow me on Instagram, trevor.mauch, M-A-U-C-H. Just go to Instagram, look me up, trevor.mauch. Follow me on Instagram. That's the first step in entering you in. Screenshot something from this call that you took away, or type in your biggest takeaway, and then put in hashtag. Let's see. I keep forgetting our hashtag. Then put in hashtag Carrot Epic 2020. Okay, we'll put that in the chat box right now. Hashtag Carrot Epic 2020. Use that hashtag. We'll enter you in. We're gonna give away 5 copies of the Pumpkin Plan book, 3 of our Carrot notepads, and 1 water bottle to some lucky participants. Okay, so type that in. The next thing, though, and I'm going to share my screen, guys, is a couple calls to action for you guys. If you're looking for a next step, here's a couple things. So literally right now, our team launched the Aspen design. Okay, and there will be some things. We'll be even updating the Aspen design even more as we go. But if you are a Carrot member, if you want to become one, it's a perfect time to do it, because we've unlocked a new premium design. There are some amazing things you can do with it now in conjunction with the new visual editor. And it's called the Aspen. It looks really good, especially when you update your homepage with the visual editor blocks, which are going to be really cool. Watch this video, because I'm giving away a bonus. The bonus is about $1,000 bonus, where I'm going to be diving in a couple-hour workshop that I call the Freedom Entrepreneurs Formula, or Entrepreneur Freedom Formula. And on that, it's going to be January 22nd. It will be recorded. It's 10 a.m. Pacific time. You or your assistant or team can get in for free. Okay, as long as you're an advanced marketer member, there's no cost for this. All you have to do is you have to be an advanced marketer member. So if you're not an advanced marketer member, upgrade from Content Pro or from Core to get access to this new premium design to help you stand out even more in your market. It performs amazingly, and you'll get access to this workshop in January. I'm going to be going through my delegation matrix. I've only presented this twice. It was once at Carrot Camp and once at Russell Brunson's Mastermind. And tons of people at Brunson's Mastermind said it was one of their biggest takeaways on how to reclaim more of your time and delegate correctly. My priority waterfall process. How do you get rid of email in 2020 or get rid of 80% of email? I'll show you exactly how to outsource it the right way and have confidence in that. Okay, behind the scenes, look at all the tools I use every week. I shared with you some of them, but I didn't share with you all of them. How do I collaborate with my team, and what tools do I use? The energy audit process and my close the loops process. Okay, and then last is how me and my executive assistant work together. We're going to be teaching you guys how to do the same thing with yours. All that's $1,000 value minimum. And that's going to help you save dozens, if not hundreds of hours this year and help you make tens of thousands of dollars extra. Every advanced marketer member will get access to that as long as they're an advanced marketer member when we do that workshop, guys. So just go here, carrot.com/Aspen. If you're not a member, you can join Carrot. It's a perfect time to do that. If you are a member, click this, log in, and then make an upgrade to the advanced marketer plan. Or if you're already in the advanced marketer plan, awesome, you already get all this. Just go check out the new design. The next thing is what Kathy mentioned, is we have our 30-day challenges. And one of the biggest things that I've realized that I taught you before is I have learned that challenges, the challenge-based life is one really great way to get momentum, is when you give yourself a very finite time period of time to do something. And then you go through a daily, like I said earlier, a daily checklist of quick items to do to march towards creating new habits and get better results. So we have something we call the 30-day authority building challenge. We have one for investors and one for agents, and these both launch on, I think it's January 6th. So we do them every month. And it's only $100, guys. And it's gonna be like a master class with detailed step-by-step, a video from me or my team members every single day, motivating you, but also giving you exact next steps forward to build authority, to get leads coming in and converting them even more as you're an agent or an investor. Our next cohort starts January 6th. It also includes a Facebook group just for that cohort, where we do a Facebook Live every week. We answer questions, and then you get a daily quick video and quick to-dos to march forward to build more authority in 2020 and stand out in your market and win more leads and deals in 2020. Okay, go to carrot.com/challenge for that. Like I said, it's only $100, and then you'll have access to all the challenge content for as long as you want access to it. And at the end of the month, the Facebook group goes away, but you still get access to all the content. You can share it with your team members. Okay, carrot.com/challenge. All right, guys, awesome. Let's see, sweet, a bunch of people sharing emails. I like it. I like it. Let's see. What about the challenge? Should we do it prior to upgrading to Aspen? It's really up to you, Sanford, Mo. The challenge is just something where Aspen is a design that you can unlock and use. The challenge is more of like, how do you make sure you're building your website correctly, building credibility, and getting traffic and leads? So they kind of go hand in hand, because one of the things in the first week that you're going to do in the challenge is build out that website if you haven't already, or pick the design, or we'll help you make it stand out. So it's your choice for sure. What's up, Tyler? What's up, Mimi? This is Mimi. Tyler's off showing property. Going to take this info and get focused on it for 2020. Thank you. Love you guys. Awesome. Trevor enrolled in the challenge. Amazing. Cash out for homes, looking for partners. Let's see. Sandra, love the slide with the beautiful girl and a handsome boy. Thanks. Thanks a lot too. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Cool. Carrot challenge. Shouldn't comment, just copy. Awesome. Cool. Okay, I got you. Yeah, Brady, at the bottom end of that document, if we're linking up the right one, it shouldn't have those. It shouldn't have those links at the bottom of it anymore. So this particular document here that I shared up, Brady, somewhere in here there were a bunch of links to other resources, and I deleted them. So if anyone's seen those other resources, you shouldn't be seeing them anymore. Those are from my coach, and you have to have access to his coaching program, which is 60 grand a year. It's well worth it, but that's where those links are. So Alejandro, where it says related trainings, those things I can't give you access to. But this year is really, really good. Cool. Trevor, 30-day program is carrot.com/challenge. All right, guys. Trevor got to see at Carrot Camp, dude. Carrot Camp. We're gonna release the Carrot Camp dates for 2020 here in January, and so it'll fill up fast again, guys. It's gonna fill up again really fast. You can just go to carrotcamp.com to get on the wait list. Okay. Awesome. Capstone says, and the one-page planning doc at the bottom under related trainings, there are some links to Kajabi. Those were not meant to be in there. Sorry, guys. I deleted them from the doc, so you guys shouldn't be able to see them right now, which is weird. I wonder if you're on a different document. Huh. Yeah, I mean, they're not in here on my end, so I'm not sure why y'all see them. I deleted those before the call started, so that's weird. We'll hunt them down, though. Okay. Let's see. Roger. Yeah, what's up, man? Awesome. Trevor's going to the challenge. Sweet. Alejandro, I'll get Aspen with my next deal done. I love it. Eric says, I did the 30-day challenge after I did Russell Brunson's one funnel way challenge. Both awesome. Still need to implement both. And that's the thing, man. It's like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do all that stuff. And I think the biggest thing is just commit to some sort of daily action, right? And guys, I would have an insanely hard time doing one of these 30-day challenges, okay? The 30-day challenge that I did with my buddy Ryan Fletcher, the Story Athlete Writing Challenge, I lasted 14 days, okay? But it changed my life. Even just those 14 days changed my life, okay? And I kind of let some life get in my way, and Now I want to go back through it again. So it's definitely something that, hey, that's part of life, Make sure to carve out the time. When the timing is right, you will go through it, those kinds of things, okay, guys? Awesome. Jai says, Aspen is awesome. I just updated my website. Amazing, man. I like it. Sweet. Cool, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap. I'm going to get back to my family. Trevor says, at least you have a framework to follow with all this. Yeah, guys, and I'll recap it with this, okay? The framework is essentially this, is go through and once again, get clarity on your vision, okay? Get clarity on that vision, guys, okay? That's the very first thing. Diagnose where you are with the what do I not like about myself? Why? And then what's my vision forward? That's the personal, and then the 5 F's. Okay. If that's all that you do today, guys, that's amazing. Just do those things. And then tomorrow, maybe do the business diagnosis. Okay, cool. Now you got all of your diagnosis done. Okay. And that stuff's going to take you less than 30 minutes combined. Okay. And then maybe Monday next week or whatever it is, then you're going to go, you know what? I'm going to really tuck away and spend a couple hours on my vision story. Sweet. Awesome. Tuck away and do some of that vision story. It'll get better as you go, but just put something to paper that you're excited about. Okay. Next, write down, man, what's holding me back? Like, do I really believe I can achieve this? And go through my Limiting Beliefs podcast to help you eliminate those limiting beliefs so you truly can march towards your goals. Okay. The next, carve out probably a solid half a day and go through, craft your critical numbers. What are those high level goals you want to go after? 3 or 4 max. Deal transactions, profits, leads, like whatever it is, okay? Number of hires, whatever's the most important for you this next year, okay? And then within that same planning session, cool, what are those objectives? Those 2 to 3 objectives for the year, okay? At a high level, and then key results underneath those, okay? The key results, you'll kind of struggle with them at start, but you'll get better every quarter. And then last, preload those things for the year. Okay, go into your calendar and preload inside of your calendar your monthly planning session, which should at least be a couple hours, and your quarterly planning session, which ideally is a half a day. Okay, and get those preloaded in your calendar right now. Ideally, your quarterly is a couple weeks before every quarter starts, and your monthly is a week or 2 before the month starts. Okay, and then we will put in the agendas into the planning document for your monthly and your quarterly planning. Just literally copy and paste those agendas and put them into your calendar and use them. Okay. And then the last thing is, guys, now your plan is in place, and now you just need to work it. And every month you'll pull this puppy up. And I just create a new tab as we're going into January. I'll go over here to the template. Okay. And I'll just go, cool. We're just going to copy this template, and I'm going to make a January one. Okay. And now I've got my January one all ready to go. Right here, I'll do it with you guys, okay? Duplicate this puppy, okay? My internet connection is dragging pretty bad right now, guys. Or not my connection, but my computer is. So I copied that one right there, okay? And I'm just going to rename that puppy to January now, okay? So it's going to be January 2020. Enter, and oh, looks like my assistant already did that. So anyway, she got way ahead of the game. Good work, Jen. So I'll do February. Okay, February 2020. All right, sweet. And then every month, when that month ticks over, I just drag that one to the front. That's my process. It's very low tech. You don't have to have fancy tools, guys. Just drag that bad boy to the front, and then I go, cool. What are my 5 objectives for this month based on what I said was most important this quarter? Okay, and then Sunday or Monday every week, cool. What are the 5 most important things I do this week? Awesome. In the morning, what are the 3 to 5 most important things to do today? That's it, guys. That's the process. All right, guys. Love you guys. Have an amazing rest of the year. Trevor says you should make a carrot yearly calendar for the fridge. You should, man. What I've got actually, Trevor, is in my office. I've got a giant calendar. This is giant whiteboard calendar that I put my big milestones on. Like, hey, this launch is here, or I'm vacation. Like all that stuff kind of goes up there. Okay, awesome, guys. Actually, Kevin says I signed up for the challenge. How many hours a day to implement? It really depends. I mean, some of them will literally be 10 minutes. Okay. Some of them might be a couple hours. Some of them we give you days to catch up. So it really varies. We try not to make it to where it's a bunch of like high intense workload stuff every day, but there will be a good bit of work. Okay. I got you guys. Yeah. So where it says Capstone, so you need to refresh your page. Okay. Capstone says that the things that were linked up in there, you guys actually got access to the wrong document. So if you're seeing one that's a docx document, delete that from your computer. That's not one that you should have had access to. That's on my bad. That's my bad. Use the one that is the Google document. Okay, use this one here. Okay, use the Google document. So the Google document is the one that is the updated version. It's got the resources here for you. Okay, so this is the strategic planning document right here. Okay, so just refresh the page in the live page, and it'll update the link for you. All right, guys, I'm going to bounce. I got to get, we're doing some family events, but guys, I love you guys. Have an amazing rest of the week. Start off the year strong. I know I threw a lot at you, but just piece together over the next week or two doing little bits of this. I can guarantee you're going to have a much more amazing year, guys. Talk soon. Brady and Joaquin, thank you guys for running this with me. And guys, have an amazing and epic year. See ya.